Hey, Isabella, did you see the Mets game the other night?
Which one? The one where Lindor went off?
Oh, yeah. No, not that one. But yay. Also, yay. I don't mean to move on from I saw those little kids in the crowd who were very excited because they've been telling Lindor to believe in himself. And then as soon as he hit that home run, they went absolutely nuts. But no, not that. I'm talking about the game. They had to stop the game for a second for something that I imagine this has to be one of the only times this has ever happened. Can we play that clip?
I think a challenge coming here. Or maybe not.
Can we get rid of the apple, please?
The apple?
You know the apple?
The home run apple?
Yeah.
What about it?
I guess it didn't go back into its apple hole. And so it was just still out until the ump stopped the game, and they were like, "Oh, this must be a challenge." And he was like, "Can we get rid of the apple, please?"
I love the apple. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
The apple's fun.
It's
The
really
apple's
fun.
cute.
Now, does the Red Sox have an apple?
No, why would the Red Sox have an apple? God, Isabella, think before you speak. Start the podcast. Hello! Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Hello and welcome to Casuals, the sports podcast for everybody. For anybody who wants to talk about sports and have a little bit of fun, that's what we do here. I'm Katie Nolan, joined today by my casualties, the production crew here at SiriusXM. We've got Isabella, our sports newbie.
What's up?
Chris, our master editor.
G'day.
And Brady.
Hey, everybody.
Hi. Casuals with Katie Nolan at gmail.com. 646-801-0043. On IG and TikTok, we are at Casuals, the podcast. We got a lot to get to today. And a little bit of a challenge. So we're going to whip around week 1 of the NFL preseason. We're going to talk about Joshua Baez. I mean, my goodness, the St. Louis rookie who had maybe the greatest debut of all time. Diana Taurasi got her number retired. Malawi makes history in women's soccer. We got the good and the bad of NBA schedule release videos, and literally that's it. A good one, a bad one, and please can we move on? We've got Kirk Herbstreit's dog signing an NIL deal. Okay, and Tommy Tuberville talking to chatbots about your grandparents' health insurance because he's a senator now. And then at the end, we've got a round of sports media news. Now, I was thinking if we make it, we're always trying to get this podcast to like a consumable time. It's a real challenge for us. I was thinking I have a million things I could say, of course, about Pat McAfee's album getting released on Friday or Friday. And we all listened to it, and we could talk about it. But I think we should, for some reason, I feel like I'm being gaslit into thinking it would be mean to discuss the album that somebody put out. I'm getting psyoped into feeling like that would be bullying, to discuss the thing that had no business existing, but does exist, and that is advertised on ESPN. So I figured maybe we'll do it this way. If we get to the end of the B block, all the stories, and we're at a certain time, then I will be allowed to do my Pat McAfee rant. And if I don't hit that time, then too bad. It goes into the trash, or I'll do something else with it. Send it to all my friends. We just need Brady. You are the time guy, so I need you to pick what that time is.
Let's say hour 15.
This is an unfair
We can get to it in
workplace.
hour 15.
This is unfair. An hour and 15?
That sounds generous. I think that's good.
By the end of the B block? Okay, well, I think throughout the show, let's all keep this in mind, and we'll cut as we need to. This is actually maybe the best way for us to keep time.
we gotta
put what we really want to talk about.
Carrot on the stick. You
end.
can only talk about Pat's album.
Okay, so that's the setup for the show. Now let's go ahead and dive in, because like I said, we ain't got a lot of time. I would be remiss if I didn't start by saying, rest in peace, Jayden Panettiere.
Yeah,
what a devastating push notification to get last night. I was like, I'm sorry. It felt so, I'm still not really ready to talk about it, but I wanted to say it because she died and she was, 36, I believe?
Yeah.
36.
Fuck. She's got a lot of sports credits, right? She was Remember the Titans. Yeah.
She was Coach Yost's daughter. She was the just high energy, coach from the stands. She was the one that loved football more than anyone in that movie.
Can you imagine being a child and acting with Denzel? That's like you got to be real good, and she was. She's so good in everything I ever saw her in. That show Nashville, her and Connie Britton were the reason I hung on to that show for as long as I did. That's really bums me out. So just wanted to mention her up top. Rest in peace, Jayden Panettiere. We We love you, girl. Okay, and then also we've got some housekeeping because we told you it's as we embark on fantasy football season. Football season's happening. We got to figure out what we're doing with our league this year. Did we figure it out?
We figured it out.
Okay, we had a meeting, and I can't remember if we definitely figured it out. Brady, do you want to deliver what the pitch is?
I'll do it. So last year, Isabella represented Casuals in her first try at fantasy football. She's a sports newbie. Fantasy football was a new way for her to engage with the sport. We thought she'd have fun, thought she'd learn an extra way to love football and socialize with other football fans. Ultimately, it was going to be tough, though, because Isabella was going to play against people who have played fantasy football before, who have been through this. And
we
new to
forced
the
her to
sport.
draft live on the show. So there was a
No
lot
pressure,
of
no
pressure.
pressure at all.
Yeah, like you guys were telling
forgot we did that.
stories,
That's
and I was
so
like,
fucked
wait, I only have a second left.
One thing we didn't factor in, though, was that Isabella was going up against other fantasy football players. She was not going up against other Isabellas. She won the whole goddamn league.
Yeah, that's
Would you
right.
have one loss the entire season? One or two? One, right?
I think
one. So this year, the only thing we can do to kind of level the playing field is we need to put her up against other Isabellas.
Ah, that's it.
To join the
whole
league this
of
year.
Etsy witches.
To join the
ton out
league
there.
this year, we want to hear your Isabella story. Your story of a time when you walked into a competition, bright-eyed,
Bushy-tailed.
bushy-tailed, new to it. No one thought you were going to compete. You won the whole damn thing.
So
you
your
took it down.
It's like a Cinderella story, but our version.
Cinderella
I just wanna
story.
make sure
You walked in.
People at home don't think that you have to be named Isabella. So it's
Oh, not at
not
all.
that. It's that you have to embody
Yeah.
the Isabella spirit. You have
Your
to
Isabella
be,
confidence, your confidence, the fact that you walked in with good vibes and confidence and walked out a champion. Anywhere, any competition, doesn't have to be fantasy, doesn't have to be sports. It could be a spelling bee, it could be literally anything. But we want to hear your story of you being Isabella. We will pick 11 listeners to go head to head with Isabella. We'll do this over the next 3 episodes, so over the next 2 weeks. And by the second episode of next week, we will have a full league picked out.
Whoa, okay.
Easiest way to do this, I know we love voicemails, but voicemails make it really hard to hear somebody's email address. And I need an email address to be able to fill out the league. So we'll have to do this over email. I know, but voicemail just don't really work because
So then you just call them back and go, "Hi, it's Brady from Casuals. What's your email?"
then it gets weird.
All right. Well, make Brady's life easier and send us an email. Casuals
And lead it with the
Katie
word
Nolan.
fantasy in the subject.
Casualswithkatienolan@gmail.com. Subject fantasy, and then tell us a story. Don't lie. Brady's going to rigorously fact check. He's going to
Yeah.
call your sources. So don't lie. But a time that it can be small scale or big scale, went into something as like the complete rookie and walked out to everyone's annoyance, not in your situation, Isabella, but I'm sure other people were annoyed with the fact that you won it all and you left with
Yeah.
the championship. So send us that. And look, if by next Thursday, hops in a skip of a jump from a Thursday, whatever Brady said we were doing this on, if by that day we haven't gotten enough of these, then we'll come up with a different idea and pretend this never existed. That's the deal. That's the pact we make as a podcast. We're also going to have to, once we get the people in the draft, we're going to have to figure out how we do our draft order, because I don't think we had enough fun with that last year. And I saw a story this weekend, did anyone else see this, about the Toronto Blue Jays baseball team in Toronto. And I guess this came from Max Scherzer originally. The way they determine their draft order is that everybody in the league who are all on the Blue Jays, I think they pick out of a hat, they get assigned a member of the team's staff, and then they have everybody that gets picked out of the hat throw a ball with a speed gun to see who throws the hardest, and then they get put in order based off of that. Beautiful.
And third baseman Kazuma Okamoto drew out of the hat. He drew the assistant pitching coach, who of course is a former pitcher who goes up there and throws 90, and now he's got the number 1 overall.
Nice. Luck of the draw.
The rest of
man.
the guys are like trainers.
It's very funny. So we got to come up with our version of that to figure out our draft order so that we can, do the damn thing. So be sure to email us, casuals@katienolan@gmail.com if you want to be in the fantasy league. Make the subject fantasy and write your story of a time you were the Isabella of something, and we'll pick and we'll let you know. Okay, since it is the NFL preseason, we are now preseason week 1 in the books. Oh, what a thrilling, I'm being
Yay.
sarcastic. It's like, who cares, But there are some important things that come out of the preseason. Unfortunately, number 1 is injuries. And so let's, real quick, Brady, could you maybe recap for us some of the big major injuries we've incurred so far in the preseason here?
Yeah, preseason's been, maybe it's this year, every year, but it's been like deadly for teams. You had early in the offseason, you had four or five guys go out, just impact players already lost for the year. Falcons lost pass rusher Jalen Walker. Panthers lost pass rusher Nick Scorton. The Saints lost their defensive tackle Brian Brzee. The 49ers lost, I guess, that was going to be their number 2 wide receiver, Ricky Pearsall, for the season. He's going to have knee surgery, like before they even played a preseason game. Wipe him off your fantasy draft board. Probably makes Mike Evans better, makes Dejon Stribling better, like the other wide receivers get more opportunities.
Debo. Did they sign Debo?
They did sign Debo. Debo didn't look great in Washington last year.
And we'll see. And maybe it's just because he doesn't like it there. Maybe that team just isn't a good vibe for him.
He missed a power station. That was
That's right.
his
Maybe he needs it. Maybe it makes him more powerful.
Speaking of Commanders, Commanders got hit hard, lost left tackle Laramie Tunsil, tore a tricep last week in practice. He's going to be out for 3 months. Like he's already had surgery on that thing. It's a big old tricep they got to reattach. Knocks down the entire Commanders offense a little bit. He was one of the best tackles in the league, protecting Jayden Daniels' blind side. Tough in Washington. The Vikings lost linebacker Jamal Adams to a knee injury. Not as high of an impact player, not as fantasy relevant because he's playing on defense, but was a really versatile guy for their defense. And then 2 running backs just got hurt. Jeremiah Love, the Cardinals running back, has a high ankle sprain already. High ankle sprains tend to linger for a long time. Like you'll come back and you can play, but you're not quite 100% for like a month after that. So this is the rookie from Notre Dame, Jeremiah Love. They were counting on him to really boost that offense. And then the Jets running back, Breece Hall, went down, as we're recording this morning, with a groin injury, which people were worried was going to be much worse. Coaches came out and said his groin was minor, which kind of rough.
Damn,
sorry, guy.
Damn, that's not cool. Don't tell people that. That's a HIPAA violation, dude. That's crazy. You got a tiny groin. I wouldn't worry about it. I thought I saw it was a non-contact, so I feel like a groin at least is not great, but better than...
But it could have been worse. When
Yes.
you see non-contact, you're like, something blew out.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so those are the big ones. Thank you for being the bearer of bad news there. What are you drinking?
You know what? Shockingly, Dr. Pepper coconut.
I'm sorry?
Ew.
It is fantastic.
Dr. Pepper doesn't have 23 flavors
gonna
in
say
it.
it already
Why does
Give me
this
one
need
more.
Another.
They added one more.
And the coconut, you would say, is prominent in the
It's
flavor?
very prominent. I'm a big coconut guy.
Okay, that's like
Very
suntan lotion. That's crazy. What the hell? This guy. Okay, now here's what I was thinking. Some stuff happened across the preseason week 1. Nothing crazy, but this is kind of the most stereotypical sports media content you're going to get from this podcast.
Ooh.
And so I was thinking, Isabella, maybe we could pull up some sort of like a sports music bed while I whip us around the league.
Okay, let me find something
Just
sporty.
something like
that
NFL
I
music.
perceive as sporty.
Yeah, let's leave it up to Isabella because I'd really love to know her unencumbered thoughts.
Okay, how's this?
This will work.
Yeah?
Oh my God.
You like it?
Let's try it out. Let's try it out. The Steelers defeated the Packers 28-9 on Thursday. Packers star edge rusher Jesus Christ. Packers star edge rusher Micah Parsons told NFL Network last week.
I think I'm above IQ than every rusher in the league.
Tough. It's a tough look. It's a tough sound for him. Okay? Because I think what he's saying could be true, but he didn't say it right. And so, not a great look for high IQ. Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers didn't see the field in the loss on Thursday, but he did tell the Aubrey Marcus podcast.
I started deep on a journey where the ayahuasca is usually described as a grandmother spirit. And I met her and walked with her through past, present, and future lives.
Fantastic. Isabella, many are saying you're the grandmother spirit of this podcast. So if you
Oh.
could please embody her as the grandmother spirit, what would you like to say to Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron, we never met. That was not me. Move on.
The Vikings beat the Giants 13-10 on Saturday. Who cares? During the game, though, Jackson Dart took a big hit from safety Jay Ward after his running back failed to block for him. This is Giants quarterback Jackson Dart. He was slammed to the turf and stayed down for a few seconds before getting taken to the blue medical tent. After the game, Jackson Dart had this to say.
I'm still puzzled by it just feeling like every time that I get hit, I find my way in there, which at times I still try to wrap my head around.
Sorry, we took that sound from his brain. That's what it sounds like. Inside of Jackson Dart's head, that was him saying that he's still confused by why he's always ending up in the tent. I'm confused about why we care more about his brain than he seems to. The Rams.
He then introduced Trump again.
The Rams beat the Chiefs 20-12 on Saturday. During the broadcast of the game, rookie defensive tackle and first-round draft pick Peter Woods was asked to showcase his renowned singing skills. He sings really well. And sideline reporter Kimmy Chex asked him to share something. Let's go ahead and take a listen to how that went.
Would you be down to sing a little something here on the preseason? Give Chiefs Kingdom a little jingle?
Yeah, for Chiefs Kingdom. You gonna sing it with me?
I'll sing it with you. Let me make sure I know it. You start and I'll hop in.
It's Love by Keisha Cole.
Oh, yeah, I got you, bet.
Huh? Wait.
They are singing.
No.
Oh.
Good. All right. If you say your game on the field was really good, I say your singing lives up to expectations as well.
Fantastic job, you guys. Really good stuff. That was absolutely crazy. If you see the video, they were going for it. We heard absolutely none of it, and I appreciated it. The Broncos beat the Falcons 27-7 on Friday. Broncos head coach Sean Payton was interviewed by Cynthia Freeland after the win, and this particular exchange was pretty interesting to me.
Coach, thank you. We know you win here in Atlanta, and it looks like you're going to continue that streak.
People dressed up as empty seats today, so.
A lot of people dressed up as empty seats today. A swipe at the Atlanta fan base. Coach, it's week 1 of the NFL preseason. There's a lot more interesting and fun stuff to do in Atlanta than go to that game. Or maybe it's as one fan put it, their last 3 first-round picks, the Falcons, are out, and suspended for half the season. That's right, Falcons linebacker James Pierce Jr. has been suspended by NFL officials for 8 regular season games for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy. As a reminder, Pierce was arrested in Florida in February after seemingly, allegedly attempting to passive voice basically kill his ex-girlfriend, WNBA player Rickea Jackson of the Chicago Sky. Pierce is allowed to practice and play in preseason games. Only until August 30th, and that's when the trouble he's in starts, I guess, and he can't play anymore. He'll be eligible for reinstatement on November 2nd. And while we're here, I should also mention defending champion Seattle Seahawks have signed Terrion Arnold, former first-round pick who was released by the Lions after getting arrested in June. Arnold currently facing 8 felony charges, including kidnap and robbery. The Seahawks are, of course, on Hard Knocks this year. GM John Schneider and assistant GM Joey Schneider were on Hard Knocks discussing the possibility of signing Arnold. Let's take a listen to that. The music feels loud.
Here, wait. Oh, you want to
play a clip? I mean,
want to boogie for a second?
But yeah, maybe we'll play a clip.
I'm trying to remember, with this Terrion Arnold thing, what would be another controversial signing that's happened so we could kind of understand that situation.
Situations where someone has an outstanding thing.
Right, and then they're signed or traded for acquired. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's go with acquired. Also, try 8 things. This is wild, but I'm glad we got to see it. The Cardinals, guys. The Cardinals beat the Raiders 27-14 on Thursday. Nobody cares. Raiders rookie quarterback Fernando Mendoza went 10-16 for 97 yards and a touchdown. The day before his preseason debut, Mendoza spoke to The Athletic about the transition to the pros, and he said the following, quote, "Rookie year, it really gets slammed up on you. Like, boom, here's your playbook, and here we go. Especially seeing Kirk Cousins in the room, who knows a lot. It's like, wow, I thought I knew a lot. Holy shuck. I'm how far behind? I've got to study this to feel confident in my preparation and in myself. Holy shuck."
Get the fork out of here.
You're doing a bit. Just don't say the Just say it or don't say it, but holy shuck. And lastly, the Bears beat the Browns 34-10 on Saturday. Quarterback Deshaun Watson from the Browns started the game. Second-year quarterback Shedeur Sanders went 6 of 11 for 79 yards and 1 interception. When asked after the game about that interception, what happened there, this is what Sanders had to say.
What I see, the right read, just slipped, you know. It's the right read, it just slipped, so.
Fair enough. Right read, he just slipped. Although I can't help but wonder what Colin Cowherd would think, because I'm looking at Sanders here in this post-game press conference with his hat on not only backwards, but a little bit crooked to the side. Backwards and crooked to the side. Colin Cowherd famously said he doesn't like a quarterback with a backwards hat. Brady, could you maybe pull up Colin Cowherd and ask him what he thinks about this?
Hey, robot Colin Cowherd, what do you think about Shedeur Sanders wearing a backwards and sideways hat?
I'm old school on this stuff. I don't love a quarterback going backwards and sideways with the hat. But Shedeur Sanders isn't losing the Browns' job because of fashion. He's winning or losing it on reads, pocket movement, and whether he cleans up throws like that interception against Chicago. That's the real test. Style is noise. Quarterback play is the signal.
Robot Cowan's way more woke and progressive than real Cowan.
Yes to that, but I was going to say neither of you knows how to end a sentence with the inflection of your voice going down. That was a pretty crazy thing to learn about you and AI Colin Cowherd, who said he's fine with it. And the good news for Colin Cowherd is that, yeah, it was the right read. He said he was mostly concerned about his reads. Right read, it just slipped. So, okay, you guys, that felt like...
That was really good.
I really loved Isabella. Great call on the music. I do feel like halfway through it started feeling like I had to compete with it. It got a little. I was like, and then on Thursday, whoa! It was so loud. But I think I don't know, guys. If
you know what, I think maybe Micah Parsons sounded louder than the rest of them,
maybe
and so I was like, oh, that sounds good.
You tested it on that.
Yeah,
that makes perfect sense.
And I don't think the rest of them were the best quality.
Yeah, that's all right though. Hey, that's fun. Look at us. If you blur your eyes, that was like sports media that just happened.
Yeah,
pretty crazy. How are we doing on time, Brady?
We're good. We're about 18 minutes in.
You might get a full hour of me talking about Pat McAfee. Okay, let's talk about the biggest thing probably in football. And Brady, don't go anywhere because this really does involve your team, doesn't it? Jayden Daniels. Isabella heard about this a little bit last week on the radio at the end of the week. You guys may have heard this. Commanders quarterback Jayden Daniels sent a cease and desist order to LSU, that's his alma mater, where he won a Heisman Trophy, ordering that they can no longer use his name, image, and likeness after the team issued his jersey, number 5, to freshman cornerback DJ Pickett. Daniels claims the school had promised him that number 5 would never be issued to another player ever again. This is quite a story, and this has been sort of everywhere. An interesting thing that must be known and stated about Jayden Daniels is that as of now, officially listed on the NFLPA website, where you can tell who represents every single player in the NFL, his mom is his official agent, correct?
Yeah, and she's certified.
And she's certified. And regardless of how, if it's not common. So I will say that. I don't like picking on someone's mom. I know it's his agent, so it's like a tough, weird... But they do. But this has been an issue before. Yes, Brady.
She's kind
of
she
like
likes
a
to get
tiger
involved. Mom. Tiger mom, helicopter sports mom, but also put in the paperwork to be the registered helicopter sports tiger mom. Mm-hmm. She's up in there. She got in trouble when he was at Arizona State for giving benefits to other recruits to get them to Arizona State to play with him. She has jumped into his interviews on NFL Network in the past. She got a reputation for being everywhere. She was courtside when Jayden was sitting at the women's tournament game with Juju Watkins, and she wedged herself in between them, which was probably nothing, but it's just a very strange look.
So she's like Kris Jenner.
Yeah,
probably slightly different.
Different in a lot of ways. I don't know which ways you mean, but
I mean in terms of just being like a momager.
She's around. She's in there. She's making moves. She's feeling like you better not. And look, part of it is you got to be good in order to date my son. Like, it's that energy of like, you better be the, but you know how that can boy mom itself, how that can devolve into the boy mommery of all of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. Again, that's officially his agent, and the statement from his reps, again, led by his mom, the Daniels family is deeply disappointed and feels profoundly disrespected by LSU's decision to give Jayden's number to another player. Jayden and his family had every reason to believe this number would remain a meaningful part of his LSU legacy and would be honored and protected in recognition of his extraordinary contributions to the university. Now, let me ask this. Do you think they're going to retire his number?
No.
Okay.
Because they have one retired number ever. And LSU, it's Billy Cannon's number 20, who played in like the 50s. And LSU put a law in the bylaws of their own organization that just because they retire a jersey, they put this into law in 2007, that just because they retire a jersey, they are not obligated to never give that number
and
out.
So if I may, that's fucking stupid. That's stupid. That you shouldn't be able to write that in your bylaws. Just because a jersey is retired doesn't mean it can't come out of retirement. Yes, of course it does. That's what retiring the number means. That's why you don't do it to everybody. That's why it means something. Is like, oh wow, no one ever gets to wear this again, because this is you can differ on opinion of whether it should or shouldn't, but that's what it means. Retiring a number means no one gets to wear it again. So kind of stupid, but not really relevant to what we're talking about. Technically, he wasn't going to get his number retired. Like Joe Burrow, people say, likely to get his number retired.
Yeah, he at least won a national championship, Joe Burrow.
Yes.
Joe said that they told him they wouldn't give the number out again.
It
But
sounds
like that's
like
a
Jayden's
handshake
saying
agreement.
the same thing, though.
Yeah, they're all handshake agreements. That they said they were both promised the same thing, even though like they can't officially. It's up to the discretion of the head coach at the time, is the way they wrote into their bylaws. That basically the coaches have given them a handshake and said, we're not going to hand these out.
I don't know why when you said giving him a hand, I went, what the hell?
Shake.
And I was like, it was my own fault. I
Good
shouldn't
God, if all the things we're going to get on Lane Kiffin for, like, this is just an actual honest handshake.
Especially
Job well
because
done,
you said
Lane
Lane
Kiffin.
Kiffin. I once again thought you were going to say hand job. But it also feels like, I think part of the issue is, nobody has worn Joe Burrow's number since he left, but some of that is that a lot of players are like, I'm not putting that number on. That's a lot to live up to. Whereas this Pickett, DJ Pickett,
Iconic
which, by
name.
the way, fantastic name for a cornerback. What an incredible, if you aren't good, I'm going to be upset with you. But like, he seems to think like I don't have a problem wearing number 5. And so I don't know, it's just never a good look to go like, respect me. Respect me. I insist you respect me enough to, it's like I don't know. But then I saw people really piling on him over the weekend, and that activates whatever that is in me that makes me go like, oh, well, he's not the one doing this, right? It is his team filing this. I think he posted on his Instagram, I've been locked in on training camp, and that's been my number one focus. I have a lot of gratitude for my time at LSU, proud of blah, 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 whatever. But I saw a lot of the initial criticism being like, he should be locked in. He's at work. But it's like, I would take that as, yeah, he's at work, and that's when his team was like, let's do this. It's not it doesn't mean it wasn't planned by him, but it does feel like this shouldn't, I don't know, I'm trying to be nice. Am I being too nice? I don't know. It was such a bad look.
I think it's definitely like there's a disconnect between him and the people that are sending cease and desist. He's not writing a cease and desist. He's definitely like, this is done on behalf of people who are protecting his brand for him. But ultimately, man, it's just the jersey number, and this is college football. There's only so many numbers.
So true.
They got to
You don't wanna be
dress
like the
80
Yankees.
kids wearing 0 to 99.
And you all cycle through there. I mean, he didn't only go to LSU, right? He went there for
Yeah.
2 years, but before that, come on, Katie, Arizona State? Where was he
Yeah.
before?
Yeah,
Yes!
Arizona State.
Oh, my God. We're rolling, right?
Shit, wait, I forgot to press record.
This would be the funniest day to do that, you have to admit. So I don't know, that was the thing I saw people dunking on. You know what, actually, I think we told Brady to put together a list. Brady, did you make a top 5 list?
Out of respect to Jayden, I made a top 4
Okay,
list.
so do you have a top 4 list of, what is this, people on social media, companies on social media dunking on him?
Yeah, I mean, people started piling on. My favorite, StubHub got in on it. StubHub made an announcement that said, effective immediately, we will no longer offer tickets in groups of 5. Out of respect for Jayden Daniels, we're doing 4 or 6 plus. Thank you for your understanding. The Minnesota United FC, the soccer team, announced Sunday when their game went to stoppage, plus 4 minutes of stoppage time. Quote, out of respect for Jayden Daniels.
Damn.
The Orioles on Sunday went up. Gunnar Henderson hit a 2-run homer. They went up 5-1. Orioles just posted the clip of the homer and said, can't say the score out of respect to Jayden Daniels.
Oh, it's too much.
Columbia football, Ivy League football program got in on it and posted
Get out of the mud.
photo of their field that just said, out of respect for Jayden Daniels, we have removed the 5-yard line from our field. It just went goal line to 10.
I didn't even know they played football.
And then my least favorite, and pretty much any.
Technically 5.
It's 4 and 1. Dude wipes.
They're always in on it.
Oh, yeah, what's
No
up with
media,
Dude Wipes
no
is like,
photo.
I want to say something.
But Dude Wipes is like, they're the last guy that will always make the one joke that goes too far and just kills the room. Dude Wipes just post text only. They just said, taking 4 dumps today instead of 5 out of respect for Jayden Daniels.
And if I may, thank you for it being text only. I don't know what Brady was looking for there, but I definitely don't need a
Effort. I'm
photo
just looking for effort.
of your 5 dumps you didn't take today. Also, I'm all for gut health. 4 dumps in a day, I don't think the recommended amount.
That's a lot.
If you're pooping 4 times a day, you're either getting up too early or you got something going on, because maybe just stay on the toilet till you're done with it, you know?
I think Dude Wipes has
Could have IBS.
Okay, sorry, Chris. You're absolutely right. Please point out all the ways in which I didn't. I'm sorry we know we have at least one listener who has IBS, and I would love an update on how that relationship situation might be going. But we don't have time to mess around like this.
Yeah, sorry. I want to listen about Pat McAfee.
Maybe get to the Pat McAfee stuff. Okay, am I right that it's time to take our first break?
Wow, half an hour in. Look at us.
We are making record time, and it's not just because I have like 18 sound things pulled to maybe talk about Pat McAfee, if we get there. Okay, so let's take our first break. When we come back, we've got a couple retirements, an enshrinement, and a funeral, and some other things, fun things to get to on the other side of a break. It's Casuals. I don't want to waste any time. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. It's Casuals. I don't have time to tell you more than that. We got to go. Let's start with, this little section, we're calling some retirements, some enshrinements, and a funeral. So Russell Westbrook, first of all, this was right after we recorded the second episode of last week. Russell Westbrook, who played 18 whole seasons in the NBA with 7 different teams, too, announced his retirement on social media last week. He said, quote, sometimes you don't even know when you've already watched the end, end quote. And I do want to say, it's a bummer. I know, I'm thinking like Ashton. Remember Ashton? She's been in here before. Mm-hmm. She loves Russell Westbrook. I know a lot of people who ride for Russell Westbrook ride for him really, really hard. And he had a lot of haters in the later years of his career. It was interesting, I guess, to see everybody being so kind over the weekend. But also I saw a lot of people going like, excuse me, you all hated him at the end. And now no one's keeping it real anymore. So it was a fun thing to watch, but I would at least like to say that people get a lot of criticism when they go on those big retirement tours. I don't think Isabella's been around for one of these yet, but they go to every city and do their last game in that city, and they get a big whatever. We know we're probably going to see that with LeBron. Westbrook was like, you already watched my last game. Bye. I'm done. And I do want to make time in some space to go like, that's kind of cool.
I think so, too.
And he did have offers, by the way. He did have offers from other clubs. He just chose to hang them up on his own accord. It wasn't as if he just couldn't find a contract with another club.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Isabella?
I was just going to say, I feel like if I was an athlete, I would also kind of like that in terms of like not feeling so much pressure.
Yeah.
Because I could feel, I mean, I know, for example, like when we would watch like the last like retirement match of certain tennis players, it's kind of like, oh my God, I hope they win this one because this is their last one. And it's like, I could feel so, I'd rather just not have any pressure on me of people knowing this is going to be my last one.
Right, because then if you lose and you're like, well, no, actually, the whole time I was actually planning on playing one more.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you
that
guys,
was a practice
but I meant one more after this one, and you guys misheard me. So he's Russell Westbrook is done. Chris, you're our basketball expert here on Casuals. You're the voice of the basketball fan, and so I wanted to give you some time to maybe explain to Isabella and any other casual fans what it was about Russell Westbrook's career that made it so remarkable.
Yeah, the thing that made it so remarkable was also the thing that made it so polarizing. For a few years there, he was one of the most prolific scorers in the league. He was putting up huge numbers every single game. He was putting up big numbers in terms of like rebounds and assists as well. He was the first player in a long time to average a triple-double throughout an entire season, Isabella. That's when you get double digits in points, double digits in rebounds, and double digits in assists, or in any three categories, but that's what Russell Westbrook did in those three categories. The fact that he averaged for a few years a triple-double was in itself a feat. And a lot of people enjoyed the fact that they were witnessing history and they were witnessing someone who was able to put up those sort of numbers. But at the same time, the brand of basketball that he had to play to register those numbers wasn't exactly the most team-friendly style of basketball and wasn't a lot of times the most fun just to watch from an individual perspective. He
Meaning,
was
like,
very
he would
much
hog the ball a lot, kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
He was regularly called a stat padder, where he was just sort of out there trying to pad his stats as much as he could, especially when it comes to like rebounds. He would sort of purposely be out of position for a guard just so he could go and register a rebound, things like that. So certain things that he did, this is at least what the skeptics would tell you, certain things that he did on the court were probably a detriment to his team, but he was still able to put up the big numbers while doing it. So it was intriguing to watch and to follow. So that's sort of what made him such a polarizing figure throughout those, half dozen
Speaking
years.
of polarizing figure.
No, we're not there yet. We still have we still have to get through the rest of the podcast to maybe even dip our toe in that, but that is a good reminder that we need to move on. I will say Russell Westbrook, 9-time All-Star. He holds the NBA record for most career triple-doubles with 209. That passed Oscar Robertson's long-standing mark of 181 back in 2021. Just a remarkable career. A wife guy, famously a wife guy. We love a wife guy until they're not. You know what I mean? Okay, Diana Taurasi, Sunday night. Diana Taurasi returned to the Phoenix Mercury to accept the franchise's highest individual tribute. The team retired her number 3 jersey and then inducted her into the Mercury Ring of Honor, where she joins her wife, Chris, Penny Taylor.
Represent.
Say it in your accent, because you always say like, Penny Taylor, Penny Taylor.
Penny Taylor.
Penny Taylor.
That's how I go.
Close? Penny Taylor.
Perfect. Good job.
Close enough. The ceremony came at halftime of the game. She spent her entire 20-year WNBA career with the Phoenix Mercury before retiring in 2025. She captured 3 championships, 2 finals MVPs, and was the 2009 WNBA MVP. She also earned 11 All-Star selections, 5 scoring titles. Most notably, she walked away as the league's all-time leading scorer with 10,646 points. So shout out to DT. We love DT. She rules. That was awesome. A lot of people came out to see that. So that was really sick. Also, while we're doing this, Elena Delle Donne, 2-time WNBA MVP and 7-time All-Star Elena Delle Donne, was officially inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame on Saturday, August 15th. After taking the podium for her speech, did you guys see this? She decided to shout out Larry David was in the building, which I love.
Aww.
And she shouted him out. Let's take a listen to her speech.
Before I get started, Larry David is in the building, so I can only hope this speech goes pretty good.
That was cute. Obviously, also Candace Parker, Shamika Holtzclaw both got in as well. The 1996 USA Basketball Women's National Team was also honored. They also enshrined NBA greats, but who cares, right? Doc Rivers, Amari Stoudemire, and Mike D'Antoni, and a ref. Joey Crawford and Gonzaga, it's not college basketball season, I don't have to know that right yet. Gonzaga men's coach Mark Few rounded out the list of inductees. So congrats to all of the new Hall of Fame inductees. Incredible, remarkable, unbelievable. Pretty good. And then the funeral, you guys, Tommy John died. Tommy John passed away at the age of 83, longtime major league pitcher. His major league career spanned 27 years, during which he played for the White Sox, the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Angels, and I think a few others. He racked up 288 wins. He fell just short of the Hall of Fame, but of course his name is most remembered now as the name of a surgery that a lot of pitchers have to get in their elbow. We call it Tommy John surgery. I was reading a thing where somebody said Sandy Koufax was supposed to go through that same surgery and I think opted out of it. And Tommy John was like, can you imagine? They would have called it getting Sandy Koufax instead. Which I actually wonder, would you rather history forget your name or remember it tied to something that's not awesome? is I guess my question. Would you rather them go like Tommy John or have them go like Tommy John? You're never going like Tommy John. It's like, oh shit, he's got
Sorry, son, it's Tommy John.
Like I don't know which you rather. Isabella, give me insight on that. Which would you rather?
I think for the positive thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the wins.
Yeah. Well,
think
Brady,
it's surgery.
he was very
I say
important.
that as the casual who only knows the name Tommy John and also what was the other one, Lou Gehrig.
Yeah.
Through those things, and I didn't know anything about their career.
You wouldn't be the only one either.
Yeah, that's
There's
right.
plenty
Yeah, I
just
wouldn't.
like you.
Don't take it. That's not your fault. That's I think a
Yeah.
lot of people. Brady, that's why you put together a little. Let's talk about the baseball. How important he was to baseball.
Yeah, I wanted to not get lost, like how much Tommy John changed the sport. So, I mean, he played for 27 years, but his injury came in his 12th season. And up until that point, when you tore a ligament in your elbow, basically the ulnar collateral ligament, it's like a triangle-shaped ligament, connects the upper bone to lower bone in your arm. When you tore that, you were done. That was just your arm giving out and no more. That was just the end of your career. So Tommy John was playing for the Dodgers in 74. He throws a pitch. He says like there's just like a crackling sensation up and down his arm. He goes to the doctor. They do X-rays, and the team doctor for the Dodgers at the time happened to be Dr. Frank Jobe, who's world-renowned orthopedic surgeon at the time already. And basically, Tommy John had two options. It was your career's just done, or I've been reading some stuff. Would you like to try this new procedure that no one's ever tried on a human being before? And they were going to take, to fix his left elbow, they were going to take a tendon out of his right forearm. They're going to remove a tendon, drill some holes in his left elbow, reattach the tendon, and the body is like incredible that it would regrow and heal. That tendon would heal and turn into a ligament.
Whoa.
And basically
Science is
form
sick.
For real.
form a new UCL for him. And it kind of didn't work at first. So like for the first 3 months, like Tommy John had no feeling in his hand, like in his pitching hand that he had spent like his whole career as a pitcher, couldn't feel his hand. And he trusted Frank Jobe to go in and do one more surgery to reroute the nerve that was going around that ligament as it healed. He rerouted it. And like a year later, Tommy John was back out on the mound pitching through like 200 innings in his first year back, and had a whole second career out of it. And now like John Smoltz was the first pitcher with a Tommy John surgery to go into the Hall of Fame. Justin Verlander is probably going to be the second. Guys just have a whole second chance at a career now because Tommy John was willing to let Frank Jobe try this surgery on him. He was willing to have faith in him to go through the rehab, to work his way back, even through like the numbness in the hand, kind of went through the whole thing, stuck it out so that he could be the first guy. He could be the proof of concept that this 15-month process to get him back on the mound would work, and that other pitchers could go on and have a career after him.
Didn't somebody win a Cy Young after a Tommy John? Was that
Verlander? Plenty of guys now.
Yeah.
DeGrom did.
Yeah.
Plenty of guys. Chris Sale had won a Cy Young after a Tommy John.
You know who never won a Cy Young
now.
award? Cy Young.
Cy Young.
Fucking
Just the
bum.
tragedy of it.
Wait, really?
It's just because it was named because it didn't exist because it was named after him, so he had to happen first, before it could be. Anyway,
but he had the skill set to create. Okay,
He
I just
did,
want.
yeah.
It wasn't like
Yeah,
how there's like a random guy that the Walter Cup is named after or something like that.
he didn't buy his way into it. No.
Mark Walter will never win a Walter
It's
Cup.
not the Larry O'Brien, former postmaster general, whose name is on the NBA trophy. Is not that case. Okay, so that I think. How are we doing on time, Brady? Just a quick time check.
41 minutes.
Okay, whoa, let's get moving. The NBA did their schedule release this past weekend, and I can't really be caring about stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I know we do this for the NFL, and they have these fun videos that they produce in-house, really high-tech, and they take you all around. It's different with the NBA because, like, they're new to this, and it, a lot of the times feels like, what are we doing? Because it'll just, like, highlight a couple teams and then show you on screen, like, that's when we play those teams. It's like not the same thing.
They play everybody.
There's so many games. Whereas in the NFL, you're just going like weeks through the weeks. And this is it. So it doesn't really work. But there was one that I thought was really good. There was one I thought was really bad. And I only saw 2, so I just imagine this covers all of it. Let's start with which one do you want to start with, Isabel, the bad or the good?
Let's start with the bad.
Okay, starting with the bad is the Toronto Raptors. So I guess I don't really know. This was like a tough needle to thread, but their concept, I guess, was that they were going to have a fake podcast hosted by 2 women that were gossiping, but they were going to sort of make it seem like they were gossiping about the league.
Okay.
So it just ended up kind of being a parody of a, and you were like, who's this for? So let's just take a quick listen. This is them talking about, I don't remember, and it's not transcribed. This one's about LeBron. So they're talking about playing the 76ers. This is when they're announcing the dates they'll be playing the Sixers. Let's play the clip.
So this season's Golden Bachelor is LeBron.
Older, experienced. He's looking for one last meaningful connection.
After making all the NBA wait, narrowing it down to just 4 teams.
Literally had us refreshing our feed all summer.
So, Philadelphia, will you accept this final rose?
Honestly, I hope so.
I hope it works out.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Praying for them.
Yeah, but do I even care?
Do I even care? Is like,
I'm confused on what's...
I think they're
Could you
trying
imagine
to say,
if girls liked basketball?
this
It'd
is
be
how
crazy.
girls would talk about it
Yeah.
if girls liked it. But then even while they're fake, they're like, I hope it works out for him. Or I hope he accepts it. I hope they accept it. And you're like, well, no, he's on the team. So they did. I just don't know. I saw women going like, what the hell? I saw men going, what the hell? So I just don't know who this was for. No disrespect to those young women who clearly were reading a script. I don't know if it was theirs or someone else's, but boy, did the script really come through. Let's do good now. Let's do the good one. Have you heard of Samuel Henderson, Isabella? Have you seen this little boy? He's 12 years old.
I don't think so.
He does pitch perfect impressions of birds. He sort of locks into this mindset, and then he just makes a noise with his mouth that you go, what? How's that coming out of a person? So the Atlanta Hawks tapped into this and had him do their schedule release. A lot of it is text on screen. So all you're going to hear here are him saying the name of a bird and then doing that bird impression. And honestly, that's enough for me to play it on my podcast because this is absolutely incredible. Let's listen to Samuel Henderson on behalf of the Atlanta Hawks.
Hi, my name's Samuel Henderson, and I do bird calls. The Hawks' schedule just dropped today, so I'm going to do their opponents as birds.
That's him. That's
the
him.
rock pigeon.
What?
Bald eagle.
Oh my God.
The herringle.
Can I take lessons from him?
American crow.
That's crazy.
Exactly. That crow is sick. We got to
So
get him
good.
doing
I'm
the hawk.
so happy we did the hawk second.
Yeah, we got to do we did the eagle. We need to get him doing I guess that first sound was him doing the hawk. Much better than all of our hawk that we did, and whoever that was that called in that gave us their version of that. So there you go. That's the NBA schedule. Done with that. Moving on, trying to get this done in the next 15 minutes so we can talk about Pat McAfee's album. This segment was called Holy Matrimony. It's where I scream and run through this segment so that we can get to the parts we want to. Carl Anthony Towns and Jordan Woods got married over the weekend. Isabella's not even clapping.
I'm sorry. I was adjusting your volume.
I know. It's because we're stressed out. We created this rule and I'm crumbling in the face of it. In attendance, Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, all of Isabella's best friends.
Yeah.
Paul George was there. Chris Paul was there. Guys with 2 first names were there. Timothy Chalamet, Ben Stiller, Justin Bieber, Michael B. Jordan, Keegan-Michael Key, Tiana Taylor, Jada Pinkett Smith, Willow Smith. I thought I also saw Son. What's their son? What's his?
Jaden Smith.
Jaden
He
Smith.
I think
I
Son
saw him
Smith
there
might have
too.
been there.
Gail King, an influencer whose nipples I saw. Victoria Villarroel. I don't know what I saw.
You saw him. I saw him. They were at the whole wedding.
It's full nip.
It is. And I don't think on purpose. I think it's just one of those, oops, the dress was more see-through than I realized. I don't think I know see-through dresses have been in on the carpet. They've had a chokehold on these young women for years
and I saw
now.
it's like the guest dress code was all black.
Yeah, what I was hoping, because seeing them all get out, I was like, did anybody want to wear a color? Turns out that was the dress code, so we don't have to attack them. Attendees received hoodies reading Married in Five, a play on Town's recent NBA Finals win, as well as
Sorry, Jayden Daniels.
Fanatics branded gift bags and In-N-Out cups. We don't have time. So congrats to the happy couple. Happy to see that you're married. Speaking of married couples in the NBA, Donovan Mitchell married Coco Jones. When was that? August 1st, I believe. We covered that wedding a little bit here. I saw something very funny happen on Twitter. Last Monday, Coco Jones tweeted a beautiful... Oh, no, wait, I'm looking at the wrong date. Not last Monday. This was like a couple days ago. She posted on Twitter... beautiful pictures from their wedding. Basically was like, oh, incredible love for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Whatever they write on those. Very cute. Quote tweeted by her now husband, Donovan Mitchell, that said, all right, we're married now. Can I please get a follow back? It's very funny.
That's so funny.
And I hope she did, Coco. But if you don't want to, that's okay as well. We respect and defend you. And then while we're in this matrimony segment, this was last Monday. A bride threw out the first pitch for the Chattanooga Lookouts. That's the AA affiliate for the Cincinnati Reds.
Fun.
And she got married in the ballpark earlier that day. So she did the first pitch from the mound and almost threw a strike.
Pretty good.
And I just wanted to say, I didn't know this was an option.
Ooh.
I didn't know we were doing this.
Are we thinking Fenway wedding?
Well, that feels expensive, but
But
maybe,
they do have an option
the paw
for it.
socks, maybe the woo socks. I don't know. We could do a different. I didn't know this was an option, so it's just a thing. The Zoom just
said
gave
no.
me a thumbs down. That's crazy. That's crazy, but we will ignore it. I don't know. I just thought that could be cute to get married at a ballpark and then go.
Would you
let's
do
throw the
it?
first pitch."
Would you do it Boston affiliated or San Francisco affiliated?
Right now, yeah, Boston. I think it would be
Boston.
Boston. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because it would be me throwing it out. So unless Dan wanted to put on the dress and throw it out for the, he could do that for the Giants.
Yeah.
I feel like the Giants wouldn't like that very much, but whatever. While we're talking first pitches, I got a bone to pick with the Angels. Gene Simmons. Did you see Gene Simmons throw out the first pitch? He threw out the first pitch with his guitarist, Paul Stanley. They threw out together. They both threw out the first pitch. And then Gene Simmons threw out 3 more pitches.
He just wanted to practice, you know?
I guess, but I think those ones have to count.
They have to, yeah.
Like when the batter steps into the batter's box, you go like, okay, it's a 2-1 count because Gene Simmons blew through our first 3 pitches trying to throw a strike. It's 2-1. You're behind already.
Gene, you can keep pitching, but Bobby Witt's going to step into the box here.
Right. I just am like, what do you mean he threw? They were like, oh, could you believe he threw out? I'm like, who said? Say no one time. Go, Gene Simmons. No. Sorry you threw a bad pitch. You're done now. You can't just keep. He's like, one more. Just give me one more. Let me just get one more. It's not a tryout, dog. Just like go away. This is crazy. It's crazy. The Angels got in on the Jayden Daniels thing, and they said it would have been 5, but we, out of respect for Jayden, and now I'm like, shut up! You know, I turned on it very quickly. Okay, now for another fun one. This is a fun little segment I put together called "Should I Be Worried About This?"
Huh?
That's
Say
what
that
we're
again?
called. Should I? Excuse me. Should I be worried about this?
Got it.
Is anybody panicked about this? That's what it's called. I was originally calling it the Coal Mine Canaries, which I pictured as a baseball team made up of headlines that make me scared. First one here: Tommy Tuberville, Senator Tommy.
Already
His
a
name's
problem.
So stupid that I'm. He used to be a coach, right, at Alabama. And now he is, at Auburn, and now he's a senator. He said on Friday to the Washington Post, this was a story about how many people that run the government that talk to chat bots. So there's the throw up in the back of my throat. And basically, Tommy was saying that when he's driving across Alabama, he's found a way to pass the time. He just talks to ChatGPT. Just has full-blown conversations with ChatGPT about Medicare and Medicaid. He said, quote, "It's kind of like you can sit there and talk to an expert. You don't know whether or not they're 100% correct, but they put you on the right path." Thanks, Senator. That's great. I feel great about that. I feel great that the healthcare decisions you make are informed by what we both acknowledge is probably not right information that you're getting from an AI chatbot that's drowning all the water off the planet. So
Yeah, a little less funny than when JJ Redick was doing it.
Yeah. A little less funny than when JJ Redick was doing it. Next headline that makes me go, Is everything all right? Is everybody okay? More than half of Gen Z adults ages 18 to 29 put money they had intended to invest for retirement into sports betting.
Oh, wow.
Over the past year. That's more than half of
Not
Gen
me.
Z adults. Good job, Isabella. Everybody clap for Isabella, who has not put the Brady.
I haven't put it in anything.
The hands were low.
I haven't been investing anything.
The hands were where the bar is for Gen Z, apparently, because this is terrifying that we're clapping
Isabella's
for
like,
this.
here's the thing. It's because I don't have the money. There's nowhere to find them spending
They
it on
say to
stuff.
save 20% of your paycheck. I saved none.
None. And that's her choice. Okay? But anyway, about 26% of Gen Z investors said that they treat sports betting as, quote, a deliberate, ongoing part of their long-term financial strategy, according to the survey. That's compared with roughly 14% of millennials. Still not great, y'all. 6% of Gen X and 1% of baby boomers. 3/4 of U.S. adults drawn to high-risk assets said it's because they feel financially behind. 8 in 10 Gen Z investors said they believe these riskier vehicles can get them to where they want to be more quickly than traditional methods. And that's where I go, like, can you blame them? I don't know that the stock market after game, it's like sports gambling is all GameStops all the way down. It's like everything feels like especially with these very cool prediction markets, it's like everything feels like you can just always win. I want to just say you don't. I want to just say you don't always win. And so please be careful, but I'm just reporting facts here that are being said. And this is according to investing and financial advice app Betterment. So maybe they're also, they're biased. They want you to put that into stocks. And I don't know that that's, again, much, much better. I don't know what's going on there. I'm going to throw up. Can I move on to the next one? The last one?
Yes.
Okay, this one's at least a little bit more fun, but still also, is everything okay here? And what does this mean for us? I saw this reported in The Athletic when I was trying to find headlines that I might have missed this week, and nobody was talking about this. Kirk Herbstreit's dog, Peter Herbstreit, named like a boy. I think he has named his boys like dogs and his dogs like boys. Peter Herbstreit, the 2-year-old dog owned by ESPN College Game Day analyst Kirk Herbstreit, has landed a paid endorsement deal with Hertz, which has dressed the arrangement as an NIL deal. Now, NIL, you'll remember, stands for name, image, and likeness. It was this sort of landmark thing that came to college football that allowed players, for the first time, to make a little bit of money off of their own name, their own face, their image, their likeness, anything that represented them as a player that people were buying, like their jerseys being used in video games. They were allowed to profit off of that for the first time. In this context, I'm not sure what the fuck it means, because what do you mean? Is Peter, your 2-year-old golden retriever, also signing with a college? Does he go to class? What's his GPA? Another follow-up question. They're not reporting how much money it's for, which isn't that kind of the whole thing on NIL? You got to report if it's over a certain amount of money. So did we enter Peter's thing into the portal thing you got to put it into? Have we? And also, the other reason I'm asking is because does Peter have his own bank account, or is this for Kirk Herbstreit? And so, could Kirk sign a deal with Budget? That's the other rent-a-car company. I don't know. It's just the one shut up Budget. Isn't it a conflict of interest? Or can Myrtle be signing deals for DraftKings, and I can stay saying I didn't do that? That's my dog. She got all that sweet, sweet DraftKings money. Not me, though. That's just my dog, and I'm actually not allowed to touch it. I just don't know what this means. And I did want to also bring up, because Isabella might not know this, Kirk Herbstreit would bring what was his dog that had passed away, Brady? Do you remember? Ben
Herbstreit.
Kirk Herbstreit started bringing his golden Ben around when he would do College Game Day and stuff, and people really loved Ben. He was an adorable golden retriever, just a real good boy. And then, of course, devastating, tragic, dogs get old, and what happens? They all go to heaven. And so Kirk Herbstreit did this very touching tribute to Ben, his dog. And then Ben, he had 3 dogs at home, 3 golden retrievers at home. And after Ben passed, he went to the youngest one, who was a year old at the time, and started bringing that one on the road. And I just want justice for the oldest
child.
and then the middle child. It's like you skipped them right to the baby, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I know, and I know it's because he's like, he has more life to him, so I want to take the
I don't want
youngest
a dog to be dying every season, which I know, but is also like, I know it's why nobody else is bringing their dog to work.
That's crazy.
You want Succession, but with the Herb Street dogs.
Yeah, I just am like,
battling
you
it
can't
out
just
for
go
the
to the
inheritance.
young one. At least let them have a race or something to figure it out. I watched that agility contest the dogs do to try to desensitize Myrtle so she'll stop barking at the TV every time there's a dog on. How much time we got? I got to do these firsts. Are we making okay time?
We're okay. I think you got 23
We're right up
minutes.
against. I got 23 minutes. Guys, we might get to it. Now I have to start thinking about how hard I want to go in the paint. Okay, let's do these firsts. We had a lot of big firsts over the weekend, and we'd like to celebrate all of them, wouldn't we, everybody?
All
Yes.
of them.
Yes, just anything would have been fine. First up, American Samoa flag football team. They are the smallest and lowest ranked nation at the 2026 IFAF Flag Football World Championships, and they served 6-time world champions United States, their first loss in an official international tournament in 14 years on Friday. The United States had not lost at the World Championships since they lost in the final to, I wrote it somewhere, but not on me, so I'm trying to dig in the recesses of my memory. And I'm not finding it. So they lost in a final 14 years ago. That's the last time they lost at World Championships. And now they lost to American Samoa. Now, Brady, we would be remiss if we didn't mention who was leading the flag football team for American Samoa.
It's University of Maryland's all-time passing leader, Talia Tagovailoa.
That's right. That's Tua Tagovailoa's little brother.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Isabella's clapping because she knows those names. She recognizes those names.
He's got like
So
5,000 more
congratulations.
passing yards than Boomer. We're very proud of him.
Whoa. Wait, Boomer played for Maryland?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Sorry, I didn't bring that one up as loudly.
No, yeah, that's okay. Usually you do, but I get it because you're not proud.
You're like,
Okay, other firsts. Joshua Baez. What in the hell was that? One of the coolest things I've ever seen. St. Louis Cardinals outfielder Joshua Baez had arguably the best debut in baseball history on Saturday afternoon at Wrigley Field. The Cardinals were playing the Cubs, and he went 3 for 4. He hit 3 home runs in his first 3 major league at-bats.
oh, that's fun.
Can you imagine? Because I will say, no, I cannot.
I can. I think that's what I would do.
Of course. No, yes, of course.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. He hit, one of them was to left field, one of them was to center field, one of them was to right field.
Oh, that's fun.
I mean, what the
In that
hell?
order?
No, I think he started in center field.
Okay.
And then I don't know which one came next. But what I do know is that in his 4th at bat, he popped out to left field, and they gave him a standing ovation at Wrigley Field. Cubs fans were like, let's go. Let's go. Not a home run this time. Thank you very much. They were like watching through their fingers, like, who is this guy? So far, his entire Major League Baseball career is.
I remember this
home
happening
runs.
with Trevor Story when he made his debut, right? Didn't he?
I think he hit
have
at least, he hit 2.
a couple of homers in his
I
first
do
couple of
think.
at bats potentially.
And then I think whenever he went to a new team, he tended to he's just always hits multiple
Yeah.
home runs or is out for extended periods of time with injury. That's sort of the 2 true outcomes you get from Trevor Story. Meanwhile, Mets pitcher Jeffrey Yon, who we told you about last week, the guy who Isabella loves, he celebrates, is it just strikeouts or is it outs as well? I think it's just strikeouts.
It's just the strikeouts.
He'll jump up in the air and almost go to hit the splits, but he sort of just like kneels down in a cool
He like slaps the ground.
ninja way. You knew this was probably coming and gonna happen at some point. I don't think we knew it would happen this quickly. He celebrated a strikeout that then had to go to a challenge, and the challenge came back, and that strike was a ball. So I guess
It was a twofer.
it.
He celebrated the strikeout. He slapped the ground. He looked up and realized the umpire had called it a ball. So he immediately went to the head. He's like, no. We're going to get the challenge. And then he lost the challenge on top of that.
Yeah. So tough. And does he then have to
Yeah.
reverse, do the jump to take it back?
Well, he then finished that at bat, got the strikeout anyway, and did it all over.
No, do it again. You already did one. He's already pulled over. He can't pull over any farther. Other
man.
incredible firsts. Is it Lanny Pallister? I should have looked it up. Lonnie or Lanny? I'm going Lanny.
I would say Laney.
Okay, Laney.
Laney.
Lani.
And she is Australian, so I
So
think
we take your word
I think
for
we're
it.
going with
So
Laney.
you say her full name, please.
Laney Pallister.
Laney Pallister. Aussie swimming sensation Laney Pallister has made history by becoming the first person to beat American legend Katie Ledecky in the 800-meter freestyle. The 24-year-old stormed to gold at the Pan Pacific Championships in, 8 minutes and 6 seconds and 10 tenths of a second?
Mm-hmm.
more than a second quicker than Ledecky, who is 29 years old and was unbeaten in 15 years in that event.
15 years is incredible. As a 29-year-old.
Incredible. Also hearing people go like, oh, she must be getting old. And it's like, no, swimmers start so young.
Yeah.
They start hitting the national stage very young. So Katie Ledecky, 29 years old. And she still holds the record, I believe, for this event, which I think is a second-ish quicker than what Lainey Pallister beat her with in this past thing. But it is worth mentioning that is the first time that's happened in ever for her. So congratulations to Lainey Pallister. And don't sleep on Katie Ledecky. She's still that bitch.
She
Malawi.
came second once.
Yeah, right. Everyone's like, it's over for her. I'm like, I wish that's what over for her looked like for me. The Malawi women's national football team. Let's get a big round of applause for Malawi. Yeah. Capital Malawi, thanks for asking. Lilongwe. At least that's how I pronounce it.
I had that teed up to ask you. Well
did?
done.
Oh, you did? The way I remember is I go, take Lilongwe home. I don't know why. I don't know why it works, but it does. The Malawi women's national football team achieved a historic milestone by finishing as runners-up in the 2026 Women's Africa Cup, runners-up at the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations and qualifying for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup for the very first time. Shout out to Malawi. Woo! We got an email about this, I heard, from Anthony. It better be quick because we're coming up against our time. What do we got, Chris?
Anthony says, did you see FIFA's 153rd ranked nation, a women's football team that has never qualified for anything before this year's Women's African Cup of Nations, made the final and qualified for next year's Women's World Cup? It's Malawi, a South Central African nation led by the Chawinga sisters. They personally dragged a bunch of Malawi-born and mostly Malawi league-based women to the final, assisting or scoring on 11 of the 12 Malawi goals prior to the final. That is incredible. I think we have a lot of goats in sport, maybe too many, but the Chawingas have been operating like apex predators in this tournament and are going to have too much fun in the World Cup next year. Up at the Scorchers, which is the nickname for the Malawi women's national team in 2027.
Scorchers.
Okay, Scorchers. That's a pretty cool nickname.
I can't wait to see their kit. I'm very excited. If it's nice, if it's fresh, Isabella and I are both going to be wearing one. So just something you need to keep in mind. And then, Chris, while you were doing talking, why don't you keep doing some talking? Because, excuse me, the Carleton Blues have booked their place into the AFL Finals after an 82-82 draw. You know, those thrilling draws that you have against the Western Bulldogs on Sunday morning. Let's talk about how big this is for Carleton. Chris, you must be pooping in your pants.
Mate, can't believe where we are right now because I've sort of given you sporadic updates throughout the season. And at one stage, I sort of just stopped talking about them completely because they were 1-8 through their first 9 games. They sacked their coach, and then they were going through an investigation because one of their players was acting erratically on the field, and we think he might have been going through a mental breakdown or a drug issue or something like that. And so Carlton were getting investigated for that. And so it was a very dark moment in, the entire history of the Carlton Football Club. So we ended up sacking our coach after that. New coach Josh Fraser comes in as a caretaker coach. He's now gone 10-2 with 1 draw, and we are now playing finals football. And as of yesterday, Josh Fraser has now been named as the head coach of Carlton. So congratulations, Josh Fraser.
That's smart. I'm glad they did that.
Yep. We still got 1 week of the season left. We probably won't win the next week because we're playing the top side in the competition. But the thing that did help us actually book a postseason berth. This is the first year that the AFL are introducing a wildcard round. So for as long as I can remember, it's been the top 8 sides in the competition play in the first round of the AFL postseason. This year, they're introducing a 4-team wildcard, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So 7 plays 10, 9 plays 8. And so a big reason why we got in is because there are now 2 extra teams in the postseason. But still, before us, no teams had ever started the season 1-8 and finished higher than 14th, and we're either going to finish 9th or 10th. Okay. So regardless, it's still a phenomenal achievement.
And regardless, I'm still so excited for you.
Thank you.
But that does a little bit change my stance.
1-8, Katie.
And that is crazy. And I do love that they gave him the full-time gig when he was the caretaker, I believe is what in Australia they call it.
Yep.
What's an interim manager, as we call it. By the way, Chad Tracy from the Red Sox, still the interim manager, kind of wild.
Similar story, though.
And yeah, so I do like those parts of it. But it is funny that it's like, and we're making it because they they just said that we can have more teams get in. So
Look,
we
my
make
baseball
it.
team
Bounce.
is in the postseason right now at 61 and 63, so I will take these expanded playoffs wherever they may
No,
afford
and that's why they
opportunities.
do it. But eventually, it's going to get us a March Madness that's 1,000 teams. Everybody gets in, and we play 18,000 play-in games to get to the.
All right, guys, where are we at with time?
I know, where are we at with time? That was
Isabella got bored.
What time is it? What?
We should have 12 minutes left.
Oh my God. So I think we've made it because here we are at the Sports Media Roundup. Lots going on in sports media this week. And I go back and forth on, because the premise of Casuals is to get everybody caught up on everything going on in sports. And I know if you're not a diehard sports fan, you may not really care about what's going on in sports media. So we saved this for the back end so that if you are a casual baseball fan, but a diehard, always locked in on like some other sport or whatever it is, whatever brings you here, if you have any interest in what's going on in the people who cover, a lot happened, the people who cover sports media or the sports this week. And so here we are in the Sports Media Roundup. Starting here, Jessica Smetana, who we've had on this show before. Smetana, I think she corrected me into saying last time. And Lucy Roden, who I've never met, but who I absolutely adore, have launched a college football podcast. It's called College Football Happy Hour. They are both formerly of, or maybe still, I have no idea what's going on over there, the Lebitard Universe. That would be where you'd know them from. But they just launched College Football Happy Hour. At least based off of the one episode I saw, they do a very good job of sticking to an hour. Now, do they do a good job of hitting record when they sit down? No. Apparently, they forgot to do that this first episode and had to start over, which is a true rite of passage in making any sort of content where you go, gotta stop ya. Didn't hit record. And so I just love them both. They're such good personalities. They're so smart. And I know this podcast, Casuals, I know I have a bit of a blind spot when it comes to college sports because originally, until the players made money, I felt weird making money off of it with no connection to it. I grew up in the Northeast. Hofstra, my alma mater, got rid of their college football program my freshman year. And so the bean pot was all I really ever cared about when it came to college sports. And I was like, hey, the kids don't get paid. I don't need to also make money off of their backs. Now I know they're making money. So now I have tried to, and done an okay job of, broadening my purview to bring in college sports as well. But I will probably miss some stuff. And for that reason, you've got Jess and Lucy doing College Football Happy Hour. So I wanted to get that in front of you in case you're looking for a college football podcast. Also, Jimmy Traina leaving Sports Illustrated. This is big. This is like a big thing to me. Jimmy Traina had been with Sports Illustrated for over 2 decades. He started originally with something called Hot Clicks and something called Extra Mustard. These are foreign concepts in the new internet, but it was basically like, here's all the links to stuff that's going on today that's cool, that's worth checking out. He was sort of like he would set the tone for all the stuff going on across sports on the internet. He's leaving Sports Illustrated. He's not retiring. He's going on to work on other stuff independently. So good luck to Jimmy Traina. We wish him the best of luck, although I know he doesn't need it. Consummate professional, knows everybody. The last few years he's been doing the SI Media with Jimmy Traina podcast. And so shout out to Jimmy Traina. Other sports media news, LeBron launching his golf YouTube channel.
Oh.
I know. So he's got a YouTube channel that's focused on golf and golf content. He launched over the weekend. Remember a month ago-ish when we saw that the Cavs, the 2016 Cavaliers, were together on a trip and they were like golfing together and we had started to see little bits of like, what are they all doing? Why are they reuniting? Hopefully someone filmed it. Turns out someone is Jason Gallagher, a very talented sports media producer. Somebody I was hoping to work with again in the future, and then he met LeBron and is his guy now. So, sorry, happy trails probably to him. I don't think we'll probably cross paths again, but really great. He made a documentary of that trip. And I don't know if you're a Cavs fan or if you loved that 2016 Cavs team, Kevin Love, LeBron, J.R. Smith, et cetera. I think we have a funny clip from it. It's a quick little one. This is LeBron and Kevin Love and J.R. Smith are walking on the golf course. The first person talking is J.R. Smith. The next voice you'll hear is LeBron. And then the last voice is going to be J.R. Smith again. Let's take a listen.
You can't wake up and be Kevin Love and LeBron James every day. Sometimes you gotta be J.R. Smith.
Oh, fuck that.
Fuck that. Jesus.
I don't want those problems.
Jesus.
JR, I would want to be you.
Well, hold on. I don't think we got chill out. I don't know. You don't know enough. You don't know enough to make that decision informed, you know?
Okay, yeah.
You
Well,
know?
I have his jersey, so that's why I said that.
Oh, well, then you know enough. Fine. She can be J.R. Smith. That's Isabella, our resident J.R. Smith. Xavier Scruggs is going to be on Traders. I saw this. He's a SiriusXM MLB analyst. He does mornings on MLB Network Radio. This is he spent 3 seasons with the Cardinals and the Marlins. He played first base and outfield. And he announced that he was going to be on Traders. Now, then you guys told me there's 2 types of traders now. Steve was kind of our voice of reason on this, and he's obviously not here, but apparently they're doing like traders regs, traders regular people, traders civilian, and traders celebrity. And so he is on the traders civilian episode, the season. And that premieres when? September 17th? It says in here,
September
Traders New
17th.
Blood. September 17th on Peacock. So I don't know if you like Xavier Scruggs and you want to follow along with his trader's journey. I can't imagine. Cash prize $250,000. 22 contestants. I can't imagine. That seems like a nightmare. I thought the celebrity of it all was what made it like funny, and you could kind of know who was who. If these are just strangers.
But like, is X too famous? Because famous in like my world. Is he too famous just for a normie edition of
I
Traders?
don't know how to say this nicely. So I'd say
you could say no.
I'd say probably
I don't know
not.
where that line is.
Mike White going on Survivor after being the creator of White Lotus.
Yeah.
It's like
And the writer of School of Rock. Thank you very much.
Yes, sorry, my bad.
Well, I think it was before White Lotus, but after School of Rock. It was in between those two. He was
but then
on,
he
'cause
went
did
back
Survivor
on it.
twice.
He did Survivor
Yeah.
50, and that was after. And so it's like I don't know. I guess it's I say put one incredibly famous person on the regular one and just see what happens there. Just the existence of 2, I probably don't need, but at least more of them get into the playoffs. You know what I mean? That's kind of, let's just expand the whole thing, blow it out.
What,
There's
you want
money
just
to be
like
made.
a whole bunch of non-famous people, and then they're all sitting around the camp being like, "Wait, are you Antonio Banderas?"
Yeah,
No.
it's just like
No, I'm not.
jury duty. You know, they made it work. Okay, this is the big one. Isabella, Skip Bayless. Remind me what we've told you of Skip Bayless. Do you remember anything? Previous context for Skip Bayless.
And his wife Ernestine, and they sit on a couch, and they did not like Sabrina Carpenter's song one time.
Yeah, so that's new era Skip Bayless.
Yeah. Oh
Old
wait,
Skip Bayless.
did he used to be on TV with Stephen A? Like they used to
Yes.
both do it together?
Yes, and I'll just use that opportunity to say we're not touching that. We're not touching the Stephen A. NABJ thing. This is just for the listener. You may think that's coming up next. It's not. That's none of my business, and I'm going to stay out of that. A, I work with the guy, and B, that feels like a community checking its own. My opinion, not really needed. So that's unfolding over the next few days. If you hadn't seen the headline, it's that the NABJ, the National Association of Black Journalists, gave Stephen A. Smith a thumbs down award. So you can look into that and get your opinions elsewhere. But yes, Skip and Stephen A. used to host a show. They were First Take for a while. Then they split up, and Skip went and joined who? Do you remember?
No.
You don't remember at all?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. So Shannon Sharp, he went and did
Shannon
that
Sharp.
over at, that's where they did their show. What was that called?
Oh God, what was that called?
Undisputed.
Undisputed.
On Fox
Sounds right.
Sports 1. And now Skip sits on the couch with his wife Ernestine. And every now and then.
Shannon Sharp has Club Shay Shay.
That's right.
Yes.
And so every now and then one of these clips will hit my timeline. And this one did like a bomb. You know that new movie that's out, One Night Only?
Yes.
Where premise, Isabella, can you sum up the premise of it?
It's basically like we live in this world where premarital sex is outlawed, and you only get one night a year where you are allowed to do that.
And a
I
lot
feel
of,
like they are way too cavalier about that premise.
Yeah,
like they have way too much fun with the whole totalitarian sex purge of it.
that's been sort of the chatter around it. I haven't seen it, so I can't weigh in on it, but I've seen a lot of people go like, we're treating this like a happy little rom-com sitch, when actually it sounds like a nightmare. Either way, it got on Skip and Ernestine's desk, and somebody asked their thoughts on premarital sex. And it's a long video, but I've got 2 highlights I pulled out for you. First, this is, Ernestine gives her thoughts, and she's like, premarital sex, I'm not against it if that works for you. She seems very open and regular and normal, right? Okay. Skip, this is how he starts his thoughts on premarital sex.
I wish that the New Testament had a book of rules where this is exactly what you should do and not do sexually.
Ernestine, blink twice if you need help. You wish the Bible told you how to fuck? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean that you wish that the religious text outlined for you if anal was okay. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? It's conception is religious, right? Is a miracle. But fucking is secular. And I just don't think you should be turning to the New Testament for a list of if you're like allowed to 69 or whatever. That's and I'm looking at Ernestine with such sympathetic eyes, going like, is everything okay for you there? I can't imagine it's a thrill when you're yelling out what you want him to do to you and you hear the like tiny, the crisp
like, hold on,
pages
wait
of a
1
Bible
second.
flipping, that like very specific thin paper they use. Like,
So hold on 1 second.
yeah, it's that Bible paper of like, oh, let me see if I can. Let me consult the text. Doesn't scream, pleasure. But I don't know. I'm not there. Thank God. And then this one's just because, I don't know, dude, if I had to hear it, you had to hear it. Can you play the second clip?
I didn't have intercourse before I got married, but I did do other things. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I do now.
Like they're having this conversation for the very first time about anything to do with
I
their
know,
sex lives.
because you go like, and you two presumably
do it
have
together?
fucked. I just like, you're talking like, oh, that's how you feel. That's what you think. I just you were
Important
there.
detail to the uninitiated here. Skip is 74.
Right.
So,
and
like,
these two people are married. These two people are married to each other. So that happened. What time is it? Have I made it?
You have made it by 2 minutes.
Whoa, can you believe? I know I shouldn't start the applause, but I never thought in a million years, and now I'm nervous because now we're here. So, all right, everybody here, show of hands, everybody listened to
Yes.
Confessions of a Shopaholic this weekend,
Yep.
released by Pat
Yep.
McAfee, his debut album. Genre, I guess we would call this pop country rap.
Yeah.
Does that feel right?
I would just
Pretty
say
much.
pop country.
Brady, did you have issue with that?
Yeah. The genre I think is just called jelly roll, and there are like 15 different jelly rolls out there jelly rolling.
Yeah. Let me start
the
by
name of it.
saying, so 14 tracks, it comes in a little under an hour. I think it's like 47 minutes or something like that. Dookie, suspiciously absent. I found that interesting. Your lead single, the thing you used to tease the entire existence of the album, did not make it to the album. Now, last I had checked, Brady, you said in here that it's on almost every platform, but last I had checked Apple Music, it wasn't. Did it get there eventually?
Wasn't on Apple Music at first. I didn't check today. Also, SiriusXM was not carrying it on Pandora, so I had to go listen to the ad-supported version, so it was even harder to listen to.
Yeah,
It's not on the things I subscribe to.
I listened to it on YouTube. I'm
Fun.
so old. That's such like I've never listened to an album on YouTube.
Yeah, I listened to it on the version of Spotify where the annoying guy at the beach is just playing the ads full blast. I just had to sit through all of them.
It's kind of a nice little break, I guess. Let me say this. This could have been worse. Okay? Hands up.
It could have been worse.
Hands up. I was expecting an album of Dookies, of just that like 1 minute song that had no structure, that felt like it was all over the place. Lyrically, it was just 2 words said back and forth, no sentence structure. That's what we were dealing with Dookie. And maybe that's why he led with that song, to be like, it could be this bad. Because I will say, the first couple songs I listened to, now, this is not my genre. I do not listen to music in the genre. I had a pop country phase in high school, where you go to Country Fest and you listen to and you like but it's not, this is not my genre. So I'm actually sidestepping offending anybody, but it sounded kind of like most of the other stuff in the genre.
That's my biggest.
Exactly what I was thinking. I didn't think it was any worse than any other song I've heard in that
that's
genre.
where I'm gonna pump the brakes, because did you? How far you listened to the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I thought it at first, and then we get into the rapping, and that's when I went, no, this is worse than something I would hear on the radio. Some of this
But this could also be me just not having as much exposure to that sort of like what I have heard. I haven't liked of that genre.
And but
this
you were the white
is what-
rapper of your high school, so.
That's true. That is true.
But of all of the jelly rolls, just felt like a jelly roll that didn't have jelly roll in it where
If you say that one more fucking time, I have to legally kill you. You can't say his name this much. Or we're going to get put in a weird algo.
Well, that's why I'm glad I actually didn't listen to it on my own subscription apps. So I'm not getting algorithm.
Good
It's not thinking I'm
point.
Pat McAfee.
This is like when my year in review on Apple Music will mix in the music I put on when Myrtle's having like a panic attack, and they're like, "Oh, you love this song that's 7 minutes long and is just violins." I'm like, "No, that's dog music. I put on a dog music playlist to calm my dog down."
Oh yeah, I'm gonna find out that my number one song was Blue Collar Symphony at the end of the year.
Whoopsies.
I get the iPhone photo galleries, and it'll be like 5 pictures of my kids, and then like Nikki Bella's headshot because it's on my phone from when we had her on Casual.
That's really funny. So yeah, 14 tracks. I'll just read the names here. Pitbull in a Mugshot, Blue Collar Symphony, Good Times, Young Me, Polarizing Figure, Outlaws, Oops, Smokin', No One Ever Knows, Rich as Shit, Big Rain Coming, You're Alive, Click Clack, and Cheers to the South. As a reminder, Pat McAfee is from Pittsburgh. Famously, his Pittsburgh accent is his whole shtick. He spells things funny on his graphics because that's how he talks. Sings in a southern accent throughout this album. That was my first flag.
That's what I was confused on.
Yeah, it's like if you were just regular, had the Pittsburgh accent and then sang in a southern accent, I don't even think I'd flag it. It's that you shove the thing down our throat so much. And then you sing in a completely different accent. When it's country music, that feels like stolen valor, but lighter than that. Words.
I'm from Western Maryland, kind of similar. I tend to sing in a southern accent
What
also,
the hell's
and it's
that
not
about?
even
Why are you doing
intentionally.
that? Well, don't do that.
It just happens.
You want to do a little sample?
It just happens. It feels like it's easier to sing in a southern accent than not singing.
Well, I've got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases. Can you just sing that line for me?
I've got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns.
Yeah,
and
you don't have
the
a southern
beer
accent.
chase.
You're fine.
But it's
You're
more
fine.
southern than I'm fine.
I got friends in low places. That's how he was singing. That's how he's singing on the album. It's like southern, which is, it's more southern than where I am, but it ain't the South. You may
I like
have
my
seen-
southern accent.
It's very south.
Yeah, you're south and flipped, You may have seen, most of the criticism. Look, I genuinely feel like people were so mean, and then other people were going like, it's mean of you to be mean about this. It's like I've really wrestled with how much you're supposed to or allowed to say, and then I go, if I put out an album like this, you'd just know if it's bad, people are gonna say. In fact, Pat on his own show, when talking about making this, says that. Chris or Isabella, whoever's playing clips, can you play the clip number 16 from McAfee, please? This is from McAfee's show on Friday talking about his album.
In my notes app in my phone, I've been writing for like the last 20 years, and they say the most basic form of writing is like rhyming, you know what I mean? But that's literally how I would write. I would just write random lyrics or choruses or melodies just to get me through life, what I was going through, to motivate me to keep going, my perspective on things. So for like 20 years, I've been writing these, and I got a lot of them. Song Good is how the notes were kind of titled, and it was just different batches of bars in there. So I told Jelly Roll about that. I was like, at some point in my life, I got to find out whether or not these suck.
Well, they suck, Pat. I don't know what to tell you. It's the time has come. You put them out, and they suck. The making of the album is very confusing, and I know a lot of people were like, "How much of this is AI? How much here is AI responsible?" And Pat, on his show, named a bunch of the musicians who helped him. I went to the Spotify credits and also pulled the names of the people who worked on this with him. Tons of musicians, some of whose names you might recognize. Jay DeMarcus worked on this. He's in Rascal Flatts. A lot of musicians had a hand in making this. Now, Pat, this isn't an insult, not a musician. And that's not, you don't even have to take my word for it. His own Twitter bio does not once mention being a musician. It lists all the things that he is, but never seems to mention that he's a musician, because even Pat would tell you he's not a musician. Even the guy Pat worked with the most, this, what was his name, Chris? Ernest. This guy, Ernest, I believe we actually have a
Yes.
clip of him saying, Isabella, you played the short little clip of Ernest on a podcast you went on?
He's not a musician, but he definitely is he's a fan of music.
Okay, same. I mean, I don't. I don't. Actually, in fact, I would say if you're not a fan of music, I don't trust you. What do you mean?
Yeah.
You don't like music? I don't think I've ever met somebody who just doesn't like music. We all like music. And again, that's fine. It's not even to say that a guy who's not a musician can't make an album, but you're not a musician according to your own standard, and you make this album. You say, like, thank you to all these artists who helped me make it, which is great and helpful. But then we see a bunch of like ESPN employees being supportive of it. I don't know if you guys saw this. Dan Orlovsky, his first tweet was, "They say the good die young, and I'm scared I'm great." What a line, Pat McAfee show. And like, okay, that was his first tweet. Then his second tweet, this is the one that really got me. "The album is legit good at Pat McAfee show." And now here's the thing. I believe him. I believe that Dan Orlovsky loves this. I do. I think he's being genuine. I think he genuinely loves this. Josh Pate, who they just announced. Did everybody see what they just announced? Pate and Bussin'. It's the worst name. Pate and Bussin' on Campus, I believe it's called. Which bussin' is those two white guys. I don't know. That just seems like black slang, but there's about a bus that I don't know that I would send either of them to a college campus, liability insurance wise. But anyway, they send them and Josh Pate, a college football host, to campus that's going to be on ESPN for the college football season. Josh Pate tweeted, "Congrats to Pat McAfee on this. The beauty of the modern media frontier is you can do anything you want. If it's great, people will consume it. If it sucks, they won't. But now the public gets to make the decision instead of some corporate gatekeeper 1,000 miles away. That's a win." You know, that's the kind of tweet where you go like, I'm not going to say it's not about whether it's good or not. You know, it's not about if I like it. It's that we should live in a world where you're able to make it. Buchagras kind of took the same angle. Buchagras, a SportsCenter anchor, said, "I just listened to Pat McAfee's album driving in to do SportsCenter tonight. I liked it. It's a fun, energetic country album. Good Times could be a single on any top 4 country station and be good bump music on College Game Day. The record
It's all true.
The record is well produced, and Pat can turn a phrase. Who didn't/doesn't want to make a record when they were young, ... or old?" Okay, now you're getting dangerously into say nothing at all territory. Pat did it and should be proud of the product. That sounds like those CEOs when they came out. Remember the McDonald's CEO was like, "This product is delicious.
And like took the tiniest.
I love to eat the product." He should be proud of the product. It's America. Anybody can have a podcast. Anybody can write a book. Anybody can record an album. Anybody can start and try to build a business. Anybody can do just about anything, but most people just talk about it. And to that, I would say, I just don't know if anybody could get a bunch of well-respected Nashville artists to record the music part of making the album, right? And like I said, Pat has not been secretive about not doing the music for the album. He has said repeatedly the melodies and the lyrics were his responsibility and that the music was what the musicians did. Now, that is nobody else's songwriting process. I don't feel, but Pat sees that as a positive. Pat sees that as a positive because on his show, he said that, you know, I let them do what they want to do. You know what I mean? Like, I really let them do it. Can you play audio 22 for me, Isabella?
Yep.
The musicians are so good. They are so good. We got some guitar solos in there that just absolutely shredding. Go in there. I don't know how often these immensely talented people get told, like, "Hey, whatever you think, man." They're like, "What's that?" You know, because I think most artists are like super duper.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Hey, this is the melody that I think it should be. Here's the words. You're the," right? People are saying you're the, whatever the hell you want to do. All right, you got it, man. Goes in there, blesses me with some guitar solo. And I'm like, "Hey, thank you so much for doing what you just did." He goes, "No problem, man."
Like, most artists are super duper
interested
in helping to write the song.
Yeah.
I feel like is not he's phrasing that like it's a negative. Like, I don't know how often these musicians get to just play, bro. I went in there and I said, I got nothing to offer. just you got to use these lyrics and you got to use this melody. Speaking of the lyrics, Kirk Herbstreit appeared on Pat McAfee's show to really make sure that can you play audio 19 for me, Isabella? This is Kirk Herbstreit, whose dog just signed a big NIL deal with her. So congrats to his dog. This is him talking to Pat McAfee on album release day about the album.
Hopefully people are going to be able to not just enjoy the music, but really like listen to the words. Because what I love is there's some really, we all listen to all these different albums, but I think what separates this is you got some great messaging out there. Like you really got some strong lyrics and sent some really good messages, I thought, that I think we can all relate to and enjoy.
Yeah, let's just, some of these lyrics, this one's from Pitbull in a mugshot. We all hate the same folks, mostly lame bros. My iPad just went to sleep. That is my iPad going, I can't let you do this. Katie, I can't let you do this. We all hate the same folks, mostly lame bros. All the Aunt Karens need to go back where they came fro. 'Cause we livin', baby, we gotta get it daily. Wish we'd all spark up and light up all the shady.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know what that means. I'm so sorry. And I know I'm behind on the lingo, but I don't think Pat's ahead. I think where they came fro. It's like how are we going to fit this in here? That word ends in an M. And he goes, watch this, delete. And then we go, sure, I get it. Artistic. You can take, poetic license or whatever. From Blue Collar Symphony. If you make it last. You can Google. Sorry, I had a visceral reaction to the mention of Google in a song. If you make it last. You can Google all the brutal bankrupt stories of the past. But we're earning and we're learning about the future out here. And we're yearning to be churning life into another gear. This is Dr. Seuss. This is, from Outlaws, bunch of puppets with some pens, with only Muppets as their friends, saying that we ruined sports televis again. Not sports television again.
He got it to
Why
fit
the
in
Muppets?
there.
Sports televis again.
Stray for the Muppets.
From Oops. And I'm good at everything. I'm a talent buffet. I'm whipping in the kitchen like I'm Bobby.
Oh, I hate that one!
Why is it punctuated like that? Is it filet? Did he call
Because
it?
he made it 2 syllables. He made Bobby Flay. Bobby Filet.
But that's not his name!
wait, get to the next line.
I used to not have shit. Now I got a bidet. And then this is my favorite, because I read this lyric before I heard this song. The song is Click Clack. It's track number 13 on the album, and he raps in it. You should know. You just have to know.
Oh wait, can you rap it?
I will. So here's the thing. I read it first, and I went, "That is a brutal lyric." And then I heard it, and the cadence made it even worse. I'm so sorry, Pat. You put this out. You did this. You made us do this. I guess I'm an anomaly. My mom birthed a monopoly. It feels like there's no stopping, see. You want to fight, we'll drop 'em, see. I guess I can agree that I'm dynamical.
Yep.
I silenced all the sheep like Hannibal.
Bars.
I can't. It evokes like when a kids show does rap. It evoked like musical theater rap. It is like what it's bad, Pat. I'm sorry, it's bad.
My favorite one is Rich as Shit, and it's just the chorus just goes, I want to be rich as shit before I die.
You're there.
You're already rich.
You're there. I just have to say, buddy, you are there. You're there. You've gotten there. How much is his contract? His most recent? Is he the highest paid ESPN employee? He is. This is my issue with this, is that it's like everyone's like, you're being mean, but you didn't do it. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't do it because it would suck, and I wouldn't want to put something out that sucked.
Also, I think the biggest thing is like, if this is something he really wants to pursue, like, okay, go for it. But it just seems like, oh, this is something I can do, and this was like a slight interest I had, and it doesn't seem like he was fully invested in the actual like process of, even if he didn't know how to produce music, like it didn't seem like he really involved himself that much.
And if I may, this is where it is a little interesting to me, because that clip from that Ernest podcast, Ernest was on something called the Whiskey Riff Raff podcast and was being interviewed. The guy asked him the question, I saw you worked with Pat McAfee. Pat's not a musician. And we played you that sound earlier where he goes, yeah, he's not a musician, but he's a fan of music. That clip does continue. And Isabella, I'm going to ask you to please play audio 18, I think it is.
Yep.
Let's take a listen.
he's not a musician, but he definitely he's a fan of music. And he has been writing lyrics for years. Like he has his phone is so full of notes, like stream of consciousness, poetry, stuff like that. And he started like plugging his lyrics in and like chanting it into Suno and getting like Suno demos of his songs. And we came together and I was like, yo, we can go in and like cut this stuff for real.
So
wait, what's Suno?
So Suno is an AI music app. And so while Pat has been saying that I did the lyrics, I did the melody, and at first I said in my head, Katie, melodies are hard to write.
They are.
You can write poems and go like, I don't have the brain to think of a melody. And maybe I'm speaking about that because in college I thought maybe I could do it. Answer was no, it was hard to do. And so I was giving him a little credit. He showed up and he got these great musicians and he was like, all I got are lyrics and melody. Well, what it sounds like is that all he's got is lyrics and that he read the lyrics into an AI app and the AI app turned it into a song. And then he brought that song to talented musicians and they were like, we can take this and make it into something that sounds like an actual song. And so again, I would say, no, not everybody can do that. I also wouldn't encourage everybody to do that because I don't think AI music, listen, it's a big conversation around music right now. I know, didn't Tyga just put out an entirely AI-generated album?
See that.
There's that Phoenix Flexin song that went really high on the charts that everybody is alleging is AI-generated. We are clearly in a weird time for music. And, you know, not for nothing, Pat uses AI-generated music on the Pat McAfee show on ESPN all the time. They have an album of it. That's actually the album I keep bumping into, trying to find Diary of a Wimpy Kid on my Apple Music, is I search Pat McAfee and it says program music, and it's a bunch of songs they've generated from AI singing about different people across sports. So clearly that isn't an ethical line for Pat. He's comfortable crossing it. And this just feels like putting out an AI-generated album would be embarrassing. So instead he got actual musicians to do it. But the thing is like the album just says Pat McAfee on it. And so it's like, at what point do you go like, but you didn't make any of this? None of this came from if you were a guy, like if you're DJ Bean, who's going to be so pissed at me for even bringing his name into this, but a guy who loves sports and has hosted sports and worked in sports media for a long time, but is also a talented musician, and you want to put out an album of you like trying it, I have respect for that. I say go for that. It's like,
yeah,
if it's an artistic pursuit for you, I'm not trying to stop anybody from pursuing their dreams. But don't tell me that your dreams are to take the little poetry things you wrote in your phone and then giving them to an AI bot that gives you back music and then handing that to talented musicians and making them make an album. This really isn't that. This isn't you pursuing your passions. This is just...
Look, I could do this.
Look at this, buy this. And don't be mean to me about this or you're being mean. Everybody's so mean. At one point, while he's talking about this album, he goes, Diary of a Polarizing Figure. And I know I am one, but I really don't want to be. And I have to call bullshit on that. There's no way you don't want to be. There's just no way you make the decisions that you make and carry yourself the way that you do. If you don't want to be a polarizing figure, you love that. One of the songs is called that. The themes throughout the album are that. It's like, I'm rich. I came from nothing. No handouts, which again is very interesting when you didn't really do a lot to make this album, but no handouts. I work for everything I got. Let's go get it. Let's party. Let's drink. And everybody's mean to me and I'm just a guy. And it's like, well, this is a reason to be mean to you. This is bad. This is bad and kind of embarrassing.
Can I say something positive?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, something positive to say. I think Butcher Goss was right about like 4 things, like the first couple things he said. It is a fun, energetic country album. I bet Good Times could be a single on a top 40 country station, and it will inevitably be good bump music on College Game Day. And the record is well produced. Like, it sounds clean, it's mixed well. I think none of those things really indicate that it has high artistic value. Like, I think it's made by the same machine that can crank out hits in this genre fairly simply, and it's just done where the worst part of every song is Pat himself, where if it had a more talented singer, I think I would probably buy into some of these pretty well. Like the energy's good. Like if College Game Day comes back from break and they're bumping Good Times or the Blue Collar Symphony, I'm probably going to bob my head and be like, all right, I'm ready to go talk about like Michigan's defense. Like it's all going to work. And the problem is just that the problem to me is that hearing the whole thing and that Pat being the worst part of it and Pat still getting credit and having his name on everything is like music and being successful at it really is a zero-sum game. Like anybody can make music, but there's only so much radio play. There's only so much streaming. There's only so many, concerts being booked. So like when somebody, jumps the line for better or worse than the people who have ground through small club gigs, when you have Pat McAfee getting, having these resources to make an album and getting the ESPN promotional vehicle behind it. Like when you have named, like there's so much backlash against like Stella Lefty and Gracie Abrams, who I think, I will say, I love Gracie Abrams. I think she's kind of ascended here.
I don't know who Stella Lefty is.
So Stella Lefty, I can sum up in two things. She's got a big hit out right now. Her dad created Groupon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not what I thought the second thing was going to be. Okay.
It's the old adage of like never ask a woman her age or never ask an indie musician why her parents' names are blue on her Wikipedia page.
That's fine.
Came from a lot of money. And it really rubs you the wrong way. It's a zero-sum game for smaller musicians that aren't able to jump the line. They don't get these resources. They don't get the studio time. They're not this much money put into production or this availability for promotion. So that's why, like, just listening to the music for just the music, it's really hard to do, to divorce that from like what it actually is and represents and how it came to be created and pushed in front of me.
Yeah, Brady's mentioned their College Game Day, and I do think it is something, if you love College Game Day, you need to just hurry up and accept that this is going to maybe be a part of your season. Kirk Herbstreit, when he went on Pat's show on Friday, we played that first part. There was a second part. Isabella, can you play part 2 there, audio number 20?
Are you going to perform any of the songs today?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know about today. Should we do it? I don't think we should. This place.
That'd be sweet. That'd be cool.
That would be incredible.
But I think we should build up for the first live performance.
Yeah,
I think we should build up.
Can you maybe do some on game day?
2 things in there that are very funny. Number 1, it's that everybody going like, hell yeah, let's perform today. And Pat being like, I didn't do my vocal warm-ups.
Yeah.
I don't think I exercise. I don't think not today, not in this space. It's called the Thunderdome. It's a giant place where they do their show. It would be perfectly fine for him to perform live in, but I digress. At the end there, Kirk Herbstreit said, maybe you should do it someday on game day, and this was tweeted out by the official College Game Day Twitter account. So that is something that I imagine they may be at least trying to make happen. Now, it's not the only live performance that Pat is targeting, and this, to me, gets to the heart of the issue. This is going to be the last thing I play for you. This will be the last point I make, and then we will move on to what you can watch if you want to watch some sports this week. And thank you for allowing me this little space to get this off my chest. I can't have listened to that album for nothing, okay? But Pat is talking about how he went to a vocal coach to try to learn, and get better for this album, and what the end goal is there. Let's play audio 21. This is from Pat's show on Friday. This was on ESPN during the day on Friday, the release day of Pat's album. Let's take a listen.
So I'm so incredibly grateful for them. I'm so appreciative of, Coach Guyton, vocal coach, who has taught me how to sing through this entire process from the beginning of it to where I am now, to where I will be for my first live performance, which will be here in a couple weeks in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Hell yeah.
And we have not talked to the venue yet, but we would like to let the Rathskeller know that we are huge fans of yours, and we would like to be able to perform one night here in the next few weeks.
So while he is saying this on ESPN, there is a full screen graphic that says Pat McAfee live at the Rathskeller has the name of this business who he just said they have not spoken to. There was a date on the graphic. You can tell it said September and then something with 2 numbers. It's blurred out from the graphic. This is the issue, I think. Because you only do that if nobody ever says no to you. You only go ahead and announce that you're going to have your very first live performance ever live on the air of your ESPN show without talking to the venue first? My best guess from trying to decipher the blurred date, which I also would guess was just like ESPN's legal department's last ditch effort of like, put the graphic up, but do not put it up with the date. You cannot back a venue into booking you by saying you've done it already on our airwaves. I tried to tell what the date was. I think it said September 26th. 3 acts are booked at the Rathskeller on September 26th. It's fully booked. So now you're either bumping one of those acts or I don't know what. This is not how you go about booking a gig. You don't go on your popular ESPN show and go, we're such big fans, dude. We're having our first performance at your place, because it's just not how it works. And I know that there are a lot of people that think that like bluster and confidence and swagger or whatever is cool. To me, it reaches a point where it's like it's disrespectful to people that are trying to run their business the right way. It's disrespectful to artists that have that date booked at the Rathskeller. Any of them. I just thought that was like a perfect encapsulation of like no one's saying, he's just used to hearing yes. Because who says no? Who says no to a incredibly rich, incredibly successful, very popular, very omnipresent, close to the president after these Patriot games? Like, who says no to him? And I just don't think that's how you should be booking venues who says no? I just think people should be empowered to go, no, dude, we don't think your album was good and we don't want you to play it here. I don't know, I just thought that was wild. When I noticed that he said, we haven't talked to him yet. Well, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone and book the gig. Am I nuts? This feels like, that's wild. I'm nuts? You guys think I'm nuts?
No.
You're definitely not nuts. No.
Dare you to try to book a wedding venue that way.
I wouldn't. I'd be so embarrassed. That's the whole, we should ask Sebastian Maniscalco if we ever get him on this show. Aren't you embarrassed will be the name of the segment. A famous thing Sebastian Maniscalco always says, and we'll just play him this album. I just like, I don't know, man. I just feel, the whole thing's weird. So congrats to him on his album. It has come out. That is an achievement. I don't know what the numbers will be. If you really love this, please, I'm sorry. I give you space to love it. This can be your favorite album. It's not for me. I knew it wasn't going to be for me. The genre's not for me. I'm not impressed by the lyricism, and I'm certainly not going to support something that is AI generated to the extent it feels as though this one probably is. I also read Consequence of Sound, that blog. They did a review of this album. That's music people that reviewed it, and they said to casuals' ears, they even shouted us out. I know they're not shouting us out. I'm being sarcastic, but they said like to a casual listener's ears, you wouldn't even notice that like what he's doing is impossible without auto-tune, because the breath, you would have to take a breath at some point. And so there just is no natural. They critiqued it from a musical standpoint. You should go check that out if you want to hear it. I just feel like I don't know, man, this sucks. And he said that he needs to find out if it sucks or not. And it does. So those are our thoughts. Can you believe we rushed through the podcast to get that in and it worked? But now it's been 2 hours, so we have to take a break. Did anyone have any final thoughts they wanted to share on Pat McAfee's album? I wanted to give you some space.
I think we've talked enough about him.
I think so too. I think we should probably go to break. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Chris is going to let you know what you can watch if you want to watch some sports this week. And now that I'm thinking of it, Chris is also going to put in the description of the podcast what time this part starts if anybody wants to skip the Pat McAfee album of it all because they just don't care. This is Casuals. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I don't know if I feel better or worse. I don't know how I'm feeling about how that all went, but we did a fast podcast today, which does show we can do it. And then we can unleash. Chris, we've reached the part where you tell everybody if they want to watch some sports this week, what could they watch? What's your first thing?
The Little League World Series begins this week. Begins on Wednesday, in fact, between the Caribbean and Latin America. That game will be on Wednesday, like I said, August 19th at 1 p.m. Eastern. All games in the Little League World Series will be broadcast on ESPN, ABC, or ESPN2 and can also be streamed live on Fubo.
Can I interest you in another Little League World Series scandal?
No way. Already? Same place? Tulsa?
Already. Different place, same general area-ish. Midwest
Tornado
region
Alley.
final.
Okay.
Midwest region final. Wisconsin versus Iowa. So they're tied 0-0, bottom of the second. Iowa's at bat, runner on second and third, one out. For this at bat, the pitcher is about to go curveball heavy. So the the Wisconsin pitcher is about to just go curveball, curveball, curveball. And every time the catcher calls for a curveball, the runner on second base for Iowa very subtly tugs on his helmet. Every time he calls for a curveball. Every time the catcher puts down the two fingers for the curveball, tugs on the helmet. This is illegal in Little League. It's legal in Major League Baseball, but in Little League, quoting, stealing and relaying signs to alert a batter to pitch selection or location is explicitly prohibited.
Now, it's legal in Major League Baseball, Isabella, but you won't see as much of it now because they use that PitchCom technology, which is the catcher and the pitcher communicating through like a speaker and a touchpad so that they're not showing, because usually, traditionally, the catcher's putting numbers down in their crotch. And so if you're theoretically on second base, you have a direct line of sight to that, and then you could technically signal to the batter what pitch is coming.
Yeah.
Major leaguers will be very subtle about it. Like they will like flex a butt cheek or something, or like maybe like move an elbow a couple inches. Kids are not subtle at all. Not subtle in any way. On a 2-1 count, the catcher calls for a curveball here, and the kid tugs the helmet, and the batter like chases it into the ground. The ball hits the dirt, and the kid on second base throws up his arms like, "What are you doing? I gave you the sign." Very next pitch, another curveball. He tugs the helmet, and this time the kid rips it into the gap for a double off the wall. The Wisconsin coach comes out to the mound to talk to the pitcher, and the catcher tells him, it picks up on the mic. The catcher tells him, they're taking signs on second. They're taking our signs on second.
Smart
over and
catcher.
over. And nothing happened. The coach didn't file a protest. He didn't do anything. He just let it go.
Coach, what the hell?
Iowa ends up winning the game, and Wisconsin goes home. It is very clearly caught on camera, and the kid called it out during the mound visit.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
And
I don't
Iowa got
like
away
teaching
with it.
kids to stay silent on injustice. I don't like this. We can't have this. Slippery slope. I think you got to let this kid told you what was going on. Why did the coach give a reason why he didn't challenge this at all?
Coach he just burned through it. He didn't really have to face the press afterwards anyway. So,
yeah, I think we should make them. I
no
really do think
explanation.
we should. I will also say stealing signs as a kid, I don't think it's as effective. I think not only are they less subtle in letting them know what pitch is coming, I also think the kid that's got to process all that information as the pitch is coming in, I don't think it's as fine-tuned up here as it is on like a pro ball player. But either way, it appears he had information he wasn't supposed to have that is against the rules directly, as they are stated, which everybody agrees to play by when you do Little League World Series events. And so is Iowa going to do, is Wisconsin going to do anything about it?
It doesn't look like it. They didn't file a protest. Iowa plays Thursday.
That stinks. That stinks.
In the Little League World Series in Williamsport.
Sorry, Wisconsin. I would like to... Let's get them all a Dairy Queen party. The kids from Wisconsin. Let's get them an ice cream party, because let's be honest, that's what you're really playing for, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're just trying to get that dub so you can get that swirl.
Ice cream and pizza.
So you can get that cherry dip.
That
yeah,
dip.
a little pizza.
Turn it upside down.
Yeah. Jeez Louise, delicious.
That sounds so good right now.
I know, and I actually might rent a car just to go to a Dairy Queen tonight now that we've discussed this, because I deserve it.
Yum, yum.
I listened to that whole album. Chris, what else can we watch if we want to watch some sports this week, other than those cheating little kids?
Well, we're famously a very pro soccer podcast here, so the second and third things to watch this week are both soccer related. Nice. First, it's the women's NCAA soccer. That season just begun in the last couple of weeks. We have number 8 UNC against number 10 Arkansas on Thursday, August 20th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPNU. And then on Friday, the EPL season begins with Arsenal against Coventry City. That'll be on 3 p.m. Eastern on the USA Network. Arsenal, obviously the reigning EPL champions after claiming their first league title in 22 years. And Coventry City, they won the championship title last season to earn automatic promotion to the Premier League. And it'll be their first season in the EPL since the 2000-2001 season.
Wow, very exciting. Isabella, EPL, anything for you?
Something Premier League.
Yeah, English. I didn't know.
English.
I was asking because I was like, Chris, you got to say the full thing one time.
My apologies.
No, but
my apologies as
but
well.
actually, I don't think you even need to, because she knew. She actually did know. So I think my apologies, in fact. But the English Premier League, for anybody who didn't know, the league over there.
Arsenal beat the hell out of Manchester City Sunday in the Community Shield.
So they get 2 days off. How many days they got? They just did the World Cup. There's like no off season for them.
Right back at it.
Really wasn't.
That's wild. I'm tired just thinking about it. I saw, not to bring her up twice, but Ashton, who's been on this podcast before, big Jed Spence gal, got tickets to go see Tottenham, because that's where he played. That's not where he plays anymore. He is gone. I don't know where he went. I forget, but kind of a bummer. A lot of people who
Isabella, who are you rooting for the EPL season?
To Milan he went.
I'll choose Arsenal.
Oh, well, that's we got to tell you, not the best look. It makes you look a little bit like a
bandwagon.
A little bit, because they did just win. Now, they also did just take a big loss. They lost the Champions League, but they won the Premier League last year. So you didn't mean to, which is why I'm saying it.
Yeah.
It would be kind of cool to root for Coventry City.
I'll take a look at the teams.
Okay.
Do some research.
Nice.
See which one I vibe with.
Nice. And then just real quick here at the end of the podcast, since what did you say to me about Bears merch earlier?
Oh, I may or may not have spent the weekend looking at Bears merch online just to see if I were to, how it would look. And I did see some cute stuff.
Okay. What kind of cute stuff?
It's getting a little well, okay, so one is like cute, like little like vintage like cotton t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's just like a general Bears tee. But then I was like, guys, also, I don't think I mentioned this. I didn't realize that Caleb Williams' number is one of my favorite numbers, 18.
One of your favorite numbers?
Yeah, my favorite number is 8, and my second one is 18.
Okay.
Huh.
And should we ask, or should we just let that go?
Maybe that'll be for another day.
Okay. And so is today August 18th? It's August 17th. We're
17th.
so close to it being 8/18.
Well, the episode
is out on 8/18. So today is kind of your day. Do you want to say anything, Grandmother Spirit?
Peace be with you, and give all good stuff to me.
Yeah, that's perfect. All right, so that's a sports podcast. I do think I'm going to get home and realize there were 7 things I meant to say that I didn't say, and I just want
Shout out Maryland Charm, women's lacrosse champions.
Oh yeah, why didn't you put that in here anywhere?
Because we don't have... Because we were at warp speed just to get to Pat McAfee.
But if you put it somewhere, I wouldn't have forgotten it. I would have gotten to it. Shout out to, what's their name? Say one more time.
The Maryland Charm, your WLL champions, their
Great
inaugural
job.
full season.
Oh yeah, this is the first full season of women's lacrosse professionally. And Maryland, who Brady loves to get a huge a regular size, a boner for.
It was going to be weird no matter what.
I know, and I regret all of it, but still, your team won is this big for, remind me, your daughter plays lacrosse?
She's a New York Charging fan.
Oh,
so.
what? Wait,
I know.
how?
Well, her favorite player, her favorite player is Corey Edmondson, obviously, All-American midfielder at Maryland, who is a rookie on the New York Charging. So she followed her from the University of Maryland to the New York team.
And so when Maryland won the whole thing, she was like, she didn't care at all?
Yeah, she'll root for Maryland because the Charging were out. They were not in the final.
Charging is what we're saying is the name of that.
New York Charging.
ING, a gerund as a team name. Now, I know you take an issue with S's. I can't have... Lightning, I guess, isn't a gerund. That's a noun. They're not using it like lightening. They're using it like the thing, lightning.
No, I need a singular item that you can call an individual player.
Charging that's a verb. An ing of a verb is a gerund, folks. If you didn't know, you know now. All right.
All right, let's wrap it up so that I can listen to more Pat McAfee.
She loves it. She's a sicko. She can't get enough.
I need to listen to it twice.
She already got tickets to the Rathskeller, even though they haven't yet found out they're hosting.
Saying in the email
Pat
the
McAfee.
location is TBD.
Yeah, crazy. Thank you guys for listening. This is Casuals. Don't forget, if you want to join our fantasy football league, if you have been an Isabella before, walked into something you probably had no business winning and leaving winning it all, send us that story. Let's get you in this league and let's have a fun season. It's casualswithkatienolan@gmail.com. If you want to leave us a voicemail, please do that, but not about this, or Brady will find you, hunt you down, and be very upset with you. 646-801-0043 is the number there. On IG and TikTok, we are at Casuals, the podcast. I'm Katie Nolan on behalf of the Casualties. We love you, we mean it, and we'll see you later in the week. Bye. Say bye, Isabella.
Bye.